a world nearly destroyed by a cataclysm, saved by the actions of heroes long gone, a world that has survived, recovered, and even thrived. This is the world of Tyr. Here, the descendants of those heroes and the other survivors of the cataclysm have built great nations, the 8 pillars that support the world. Nearly 1,500 years after the cataclysm, the world is one of relative calm. However, beneath this veneer of peace, great forces move. With every shift and shudder, they threaten to disrupt the delicate balance that keeps the pillars standing. Now, across the world, knowingly or not, people must become heroes, or the pillars will fall and Tyr will be no more. Join us as we follow some of those heroes and see their struggles to keep their world from destruction. Hello, everyone. Hopefully, you should be able to see us and hear us and see our new overlay for the new year.
It's so pretty!
Thank you.
It's the only black.
Wow!
It
There it is.
pretty.
It's so nice!
I still see the trailer.
Mine's there
It's
we
with the
go.
black
Oh
screen
yeah.
for the trailer, but
Nice.
Oh, good. Wait.
It's all
Chelsea.
celestial.
that is
It
awesome.
just looks so good, though. It looks so like,
Yeah.
professional and cool. We all got names and character names and art and shit. Okay, sorry.
It's awesome.
Oh,
Oh my god.
I'm
I still haven't seen it. I'm gonna react to
like a minute and a half
Wait,
behind.
wait. I don't know what's happening. I don't know. Hang on, it's still a black screen.
Okay, so I'm going to
For me.
give all of Chelsea's
It's so
poem before I
amazing.
do anything else, and while we let Elise catch up. I'm actually going to do the untranslated version as well, which roughly translates to: Yay for the first tier session of the year. The Marauders are here. There's no need to fear. Against stealth rolls, fishy troubles, and doing what Galway expects. This group always excites. I can't wait to see what happens next. Sending high roll vibes to this awesome crew. Galway, I can hear and see you. Thank you so much for that, Chelsea. Thank you so much, everyone.
The overlay looks great.
Elise just rolls in
Oh,
at this point. God, you are
And you
on
think
a,
I'm using Internet Explorer, you know? Like, I don't know what's happening.
and dialogue.
Don't lie, you're on AOL.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say,
Logo
is there?
over.
If
Whatever.
someone picks up the phone, are you going to get like kicked from the?
Do-do-do.
Also, I'm just gonna point out
Dialogue.
that Lena says, "Oh fuck yeah, Chris's big buns." So thank
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tier Moontree Isle. I'm Galway, one of the founders of Helpful Goat and the DM for tonight's game. Before we get started and get to see what these wonderful people are going to get up to, I want to do just a couple of quick announcements, and then we'll do some introductions, and then we'll try to remember what the hell we did last year, because it's a new year. First and foremost, thank you so much for joining us. If you would like to watch more of this after you get a little bit into it, you can follow us here on Twitch, twitch.tv/helpfulgoat. There's my cat wandering through the background. You can also subscribe to us or cheer bits to us, both of which help us monetarily, and we would normally appreciate if you were so inclined. If you have Amazon Prime, you can also sub to us for free through Twitch Prime. You can follow us for updates and for all of our scheduling and things on our Twitter at Helpful Goat, our Instagram also at Helpful Goat. We're also on Facebook if you look for Helpful Goat Gaming, and you can check out our YouTube archives. Again, just look for Helpful Goat, and that will get you most of the past episodes. Honestly, there's a little bit of a backlog of tier because I've been busy doing things like overlays. I also have to remember now that because of the way I've done the camera slices, people no longer see what I see for camera order, and that's going to fuck me up in all kinds of ways. I'm sorry, people. My pointing will be nonsensical tonight because I will forget at least a couple of times.
Just do that.
No, it's even worse. They're in legitimately two different orders. Like,
Okay.
the arrangement is different.
Every time Galway points, though, all of us should point so that at least one person might be pointing to the person that Galway's intending us to talk about.
I'm just going to say that sounds a lot like making a roll, and y'all haven't been doing great on those right now. So.
Rude.
If you would like the most up-to-date updates around what we're doing, if you'd like to interact with our wonderful community who do things like writing poetry for us to let us know that we are seen and heard, who just completed a great gift exchange for the holiday, which was a ton of fun for our first one. You can also join the Discord. You can use !Discord in chat or check the descriptions to get a link to join our Discord, which has been a great place and is what I can now actually say got me through 2020. Is that trash fires? You looks around at the front view. Okay, keep going. But
Keep your eyes on the road, Galway.
The time-stamped trash fire is in the rearview mirror. And to that end, as we enter a new year, hopefully put just all of 2020 behind us. And get to hopefully enjoy a better year. It is worth remembering that there are a lot of people whose existences are kind of contingent on a lot of things. This month we are wanting to highlight the Trevor Project, which works with and it's super important to remember because in the middle of all of the headlines around, coups, things like that, Justice Department has also been working to strip away civil rights protections. So for a lot of us, we've never had to have our identities, our ability to love the people that we love, our ability to see people, our ability to live our lives as who we are, depend on legislation. But a lot of people do. So I really encourage you to reach out to the Trevor Project. There's links dropping in the chat, and you can get one at any time with !donate. And also reach out to any local organizations in your area who work with LGBT. It's a lot of challenges. And again, in kind of a theme, anyone who was facing challenges before, COVID-19 did not make better. So please, I encourage you, reach out to major organizations like the Trevor Project, reach out to smaller local organizations, see what you can do with time, money, resources, effort, connections, even just promotion. Everything helps. So thank you so much for that. If you are inclined to support us, you can use !Coffee, KO-FI, which will take you to the coffee page. Hopeful Goat actually got a Christmas presents from the community, which is pretty awesome there. And as always, if you can just tune in and listen, watch, have a good time with us, that's what we want. All right. With that said, let's go through introductions, and I am going to stare at the stream preview so I don't do this in a completely ridiculous order. From y'all's perspective,
all the fun out of it.
My side, if I hold up my arm, does that point? It does. Okay. We'll start with Chris.
Which way are you pointing?
Yeah, I see it on the thing. You're pointing the right way.
I was pointing at Chris.
Fantastic. I
didn't wait to make sure it caught up.
I waited.
Yeah.
Well, because I didn't have a fucking choice. Anyway,
Wait,
continue. It's not my
see
turn.
it now? Are we caught up to Elise? Or is Elise caught up to us?
She
Chris.
I'm pretty sure she ain't gonna be catching up. Yeah.
2 minutes later. Oh yeah, I see you pointed to Chris.
Are we doing like our full
Do the full introduction.
I'm so confused as what we do now.
You yourself, your pronouns, your character.
Oh yeah,
race,
I
class, and their
remember the
pronouns.
drill. I'm Chris, she, her, hers. I am playing Catch, he, him, his, and he is currently still covered in puke.
Lovely.
Mine and Minnow's.
Oh God.
And it smelled
Sam.
like burnt
Mm.
fish porridge.
Oh,
And
God.
whatever Minnow last ate. Pineapple, probably.
I was going to say pineapple.
Tangy.
So it's sweet and salty.
Mm.
Sam.
Hi, I'm Sam. I use he, him, his pronouns. I play Dent, the fighter, eldritch knight, charming, enchanter, suit of armor. And his pronouns are also he, him, his. And I will point this way to Rachel. And it's Rachel's turn to go now.
You did point correctly.
Yeah, I can see now on my screen.
And you look so accosted.
I am Rachel, human teacher. I go by she, her, hers. And I play Nero, a Fearbolg monk who goes by he, him, his, and is currently covered in the blood of the person that he killed and weeping uncontrollably. And I'm gonna point this way to Heather.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you got it right. I'm Heather, she, her, hers. Also human teacher. And I play Ressa, a dwarf cleric of the forge, and I'm not sure I'm covered in anything. Hopefully not. Certainly not vomit, and maybe some blood. So, and Ressa is also she, her, hers. And now I'm going to try and point this way to Elise.
Hello. Hey, Elise, she, her, hers. I'd make a human teacher joke, but I left that profession behind. So, what? Cryptid digital specialist for nonprofits. And yeah, no, I play Minnow, who is a human rogue, she, her, hers, and vomited on Catch recently. And I think, I have no idea, point Galway.
Yeah.
We're done.
I was gonna say we're done. It's like, oh, okay.
Oh, I was
like,
pointing
we're
back
introducing
to you.
Craig.
I
good,
don't know
good.
which
I'm
side-
like,
yeah, Galway is one of these directions from me, and
It's to your left, unless you're mirrored. It's to the cabinet that I can. Yeah, that way.
awesome. We'll sort it out. But yes, I'm Galway. I'm the DM for tonight. My pronouns are he, him, his. Thank you so much, everybody, for introducing yourselves. Let's go ahead and recap. So everyone might have caught on to the fact that there was some vomiting last time, because multiple people have mentioned it at this point. There is some uncontrollable sobbing currently, but a blood of a foe was involved. So yeah, what did you get up to last time?
well,
Started out talking to Liba, who was the healer, and Ressa actually had a good conversation with her and figured out that, well, she took a package from Liba to go to Lachlan. It was Lachlan, right? The magic user that lived a little bit outside of the village, and realized that a bunch of people in the village are acting strange, like they've been missing their appointments with the healer, not acting like themselves. And Solate was one of them. The fishmonger, I think, was one of them.
But
And
that
the
fish was
shipwright.
good.
Yeah. And the shipwright. No. Yeah, the shipwright was also one of them. And Ressa talked to her about the priest of Bion, Marget, and asked if she had been acting odd, because Ressa had some odd feelings about that priest. And while it wasn't confirmed, definitely, Solate said, or Liba said, it doesn't sound like the priest is being herself. So it sounds like things are out of character.
And also on our way out, Ed told me that there were specific warding runes that had been placed at Liba's, presumably by Lachlan, because they are friends. And Lachlan did tell Liba to not leave their house or store. Both.
Home and place of business.
Yeah.
Domicile.
And then I think we
And-
set out to get the horses.
We did, but also Minnow talked to the shipwright and basically put them to work.
Yeah, they asked if our ship needed repairs, and not knowing that they were possibly fish people in disguise, Minnow said, I don't know, go talk to the captain. And then Jebediah was dispatched last game.
Yes.
And I checked with
Talk to
Galway
their deer.
after the stream to make sure, and he confirmed that Jebediah came back to me and is resting nicely in my pocket.
Jebediah safe. He's currently somewhat jostled by the convulsive sobs.
Possibly a couple splatters of fish blood on him, but yeah.
And then we made our way to the barn / Salate's place of residence to find some boiling over porridge and one of the horses gone.
I just love, I was thinking about this after the fact that like she came home and was like, porridge, I think. in the middle of all of everything else going on, and then was just like immediately like, never mind, gotta go be a fish person, hang on. Just love, yeah, the porridge detail. Anyway, yeah.
Well, it's okay because Salate was the imposter, so it makes sense.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
She was doing a fake task to throw us off. And it worked. We spent so much damn time investigating the porridge.
Vomiting because of
I'm
the
sorry, I
porridge.
don't recall anyone else actually investigating the porridge.
Well, this is fair. You
I
spent so
put the
much damn
fire out.
time.
You did put the fire out.
Someone found something in the, maybe Minnow found, I don't remember. I took notes, but not that good. Someone found something in the stables, right? Like, oh, evidence that the horse had just left. Okay, so
Yeah,
it's that.
and then we took the remaining horses with us.
Yes,
Minnow,
and there was a
didn't you
journal.
you found blood in the bedroom.
Yes.
Yes.
Someone else must have found, yes. Then there was a journal. The last entry was 7 days ago, and before that it was far more consistent. So we kind of have possibly a timeline of when Salate stopped being Salate and started being a fish person. Yeah, so then we made our way to Lachlan's on a horse with Fish going ahead, or Finch, not Fish. Finch, who is not a
Longer
fish
fish.
anymore, who has
There were
become a
also
bird
fish
once again.
going ahead, so
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
This is true. Scouting out a bit ahead, who then found the dead horse. And that's, yes, when more vomit happened, because Minnow had to witness the disgusting corpse of the horse. And then I have the words Fishgician equals Salate in my notes. So, and then I have a note, Ketch wants to check the bodies at the beginning of next session. That's what I have written down. So maybe Ketch wanted to do that.
Do you
Nero
by
beats
chance have written down why Ketch wanted to check the bodies next
Because
session?
nobody had checked the bodies at the end of the
Okay.
last session.
Right.
I wrote that down because you said, has anyone checked the bodies?
Right. and I
Galway
feel
said
like
no.
it's-
And you're like, Ketch is going to do that. And so I made that note because
Okay.
yeah.
Yes.
Because you should always check the bodies.
Always. Yes.
Nero beats the Fishgician to death and sees it Salate and immediately weeps. I forgot that we called her a Fishgician.
I somehow
Magician.
did too.
Yeah.
I don't remember ever saying that word, so I think that was a Rachel thing.
It was definitely a Rachel thing.
Good, yeah, I think that that about catches us up. Beatings
Oh, I
to death.
begged Ressa to heal her.
And I
Yeah.
refused.
And Ressa was like, no.
I felt so bad. And I refused.
I mean, at this point, it would be raised dead, so it's not really a good
So
thing.
yeah, at this point, you find yourselves very much there. Nero is sobbing over Salate's dead body. Ketch is sort of turning on his heel and heading back towards the other bodies of the other fish, because the first one is, or the Fishgician is a little covered in Nero crouching and sobbing. Ketch doesn't want to get involved with that, but yeah, what would everyone like to do?
I think Dent is going to go over and attempt to console Nero. He's probably not going to really understand why she's crying, because I don't think Dent ever saw Solate. Right?
Nero
You
never
would've-
even really.
Yeah.
You would have come close to her when we gathered in the square. I had just come out of the church from talking to Margaret, and then Solate was out there, and you guys were coming with the inept guard.
Yeah,
He was
I
taking
feel
you
like
someplace,
I
and we
feel
all
like-
kind of met up.
I feel like Dent would have been too concerned with either A, being called a monster, or B,
Yeah.
having just witnessed a surprise dead body to really register that.
But
Yeah.
yes, at the very least, you would at least register, if perhaps not Nero's reason for grief, the reason for confusion of this was very clearly a fish monster and is now very clearly an elfish
Not.
woman.
Yeah. So yeah, I think Dent, while not totally understanding the reasoning, would be over there, just, metal glove on your back.
I killed her. I don't think she really was a fish person. I don't think any of this was her fault, and I killed her.
She was literally in the water and commanded the fish people and attacked us. So at least before this, she was a fish person, I think.
But Liba said that she was acting strange, and
This is very strange.
I've never killed a person before.
Could
Just-
I
Just monsters.
attempt to roll an insight check or something to see what I think would be whatever Nero needs right now?
Yeah, I think that's an appropriate use of insight.
Roll a comfort check.
Roll a comfort check.
Does that mean Rachel needs to know what Nero needs right now? Because
It means that Rachel can decide what she might want Nero to need right now.
Yeah.
If Sam rolls well. Otherwise,
Yeah,
fuck it. You don't gotta know shit.
I mean, I think what we're really rolling for here is if I score really well on this insight check, then the fish that Dent is about to catch is going to just really do wonders for you.
mm-hmm.
Oh,
Good.
Oh,
Oh,
I tried so hard,
That would be a 2.
and I
got
you tell her, good
This
job,
far.
great job. Him. Tell
yeah,
him.
no, you're going over and you're trying to comfort your friend who you understand is very upset, and Nero, he says to you, well, this, maybe she wasn't maybe she wasn't a fish, maybe something was behaving wrong, and you're not really sure of what to do, but kind of your takeaway from this is that you're pretty sure that Nero is partially sad because he didn't get the chance to take her out sooner, so that she wouldn't have had this horrifying transformation and had to suffer that, and that this is sort of Nero's mercy. It's this must have been horrible for her, so if I could have preemptively gotten there, it would have been better.
oh man, I have to advise that.
But you also genuinely do get the sense that, or not genuinely, you strongly get the sense that you do not know what to say to make this better. What you want to do with that is up to you. What would other people like to be doing?
Catch is checking out bodies.
Give me an investigation roll.
Also, which Ressa or Minnow, or Which one of who does detect magic?
I
Who
don't.
like has that?
Nero,
Does any of you-
usually.
But I already
Nero's
did.
useless
I use
right now,
it? I don't
so-
remember if I used it. I have to look at my stuff.
Okay, all right. So
I mean, I'm
then-
not going to help right now anyway. So.
Yeah, I know. Nero's useless at the moment, so okay.
Huh.
So Catch is just gonna hopefully bust out some kick-ass investigational skills.
I used my Fearbulk magic to disguise myself to look like Dent to trick him. So no, I can't do it.
I'm so glad we played
Isn't
that way.
magic
That's just
a
great.
cantrip?
No, it's specifically for. I'm a monk. I don't have actual spells. It's an innate Fearbulk thing that I can do detect magic or disguise self once per short or long rest.
And I
Okay.
just genuinely like fucking love the fact that this group is so determined to spend it in this. I give you lots of. I tried to give you lots of inspiration to make sure that this is, you know, balanced out in some way, because I fucking love the let's all disguise self parties and try to like confuse some poor member of the party or someone else.
Okay.
We did, and we argued for a while and ended up not argued, discussed for a while. It ended up not short resting last time, right?
Oh, we did short rest
Or did we
I
short
thought-
rest?
because you
In order to
changed
change,
bench.
yeah,
know,
it was
change-
after the conversation with Liba. You did
Oh,
short rest.
everybody but Elise short rested.
Yes,
Yeah.
because
Elise
Minnow
was doing
needed
the
to
thing.
cast the spell
So-
to find familiar.
When I stop weeping, I can detect magic.
Okay.
Because we short rested. So
All right. Then I guess I'm just checking out the bodies. What was that? Was that
The
investigation?
Yeah.
We'll do two
I can
separate.
help.
We'll do two separate rolls. One for the non-Fishgician fish, and one for
Okay.
the Fishgician fish. And if
Alright.
Ressa's helping, you have advantage on both.
Okay. Rest is helping. Fantastic.
Yep.
are you going through the
And-
Fishgician's pockets
and-
while I'm kneeling over her body
No,
and weeping?
I'm going through the. I'm checking the other ones first.
Guidance, guidance,
And
guidance.
I can't spit out the name of it.
Oh,
Guidance.
Do better.
Thank you.
You're just
trying
going
to
to have
think back.
advantage.
Casting
and, yeah, and guidance lets you roll a d4 too.
Yeah,
But I have advantage, so the 21 should get me like some stuff, right?
but it can't
You
hurt to
could
add a
get a
D4 to it.
25.
You could get a 25.
True. Okay, so it's a D4.
Who knows what Galway's doing? So.
I don't.
Okay, I got a 22.
22.
Woohoo!
Looking over the bodies, and these are very similar to the creatures that attacked the ship, the Mimic's Grin, when you were on the way in. These ones all have like one additional like arm on their right side that is just a very long tentacle that they were sort of grabbing you with, or like holding onto the tree with.
They only have one tentacle.
Yeah. But
So
it is
one
a
graboid.
third, but it is a third limb. They don't have really anything on them. There are tatters of like clothing,
That's
but they're in absolutely ruined shape. They're wet. As you're sort of going through them, you even sort of like, you know, touch them and like lick your fingertips slightly. And there's a like with the 22, I'd say, they weren't just in salt water, but they've been in salt water, if that makes sense. They're wet with fresh water, but they've been in. You can taste.
Would
the
you have
salt.
also looked at the dead horse?
no. I don't think I would have cared. It didn't attack us.
Unless it has saddlebags.
That's true. But
It does, and you can rifle through them at some point.
Right.
Do you want to?
yeah, that would the horse would not have been on Ketch's mind. I would fully assume it would be on like Minnow or Ressa, but definitely Ketch's after the things that attacked them.
Do you want to make the second roll to search the Fishgician / Salate as Nero is sobbing still uncontrollably over her body?
I will in a second. I have a question about the other fish people though. They're tattered clothing, and in tattered clothing, like it's like, does it look like it's tattered because it's been worn for a very long time, or that it's been like ripped because they like have been attacked, or possibly
Developed a
from hulking
tentacle.
out.
Or is it just a style choice?
Yeah, I mean,
Interesting. We'll carry the 22 in. You're not sure the degrees to which of each of them, but you think that all of those have played a part. It looks like this is, you know, fairly cheap. Like, this isn't incredibly nice clothing or anything. It's sort of commoner clothing. It looks like it's been submerged in water for long periods of time, which is not really a thing it was meant to do. There are sort of on the remains of what looked like a shirt, there is an enormous sort of rip and tear where a tentacle is. So it might have sprouted and sort of torn through the clothing. And it does also just look old and worn, though it's hard for you to tell whether that's old and worn since being on a fish person or just old and worn.
okay, so with what you said about the clothing area around the tentacle, would it be logical for me then to assume that they were wearing these clothes before they were transformed? So that, because there's a hole there where a tentacle came out, I would gather the idea that they were people who wore clothes at some point in time before they were these fish people.
There's one of two possibilities. They were either people who wore clothes and then sprouted a tentacle, or they grabbed clothes from other people and had to tear a hole to fit the tentacle.
So not only are they weird with graboid limbs, but they're prudish. Okay. I will then go over to the Fishgician.
As Catch is investigating, I think Minnow would try to pull Nero away from the body so that Nero is not like witnessing the
Oh yes, I was
investigation of the
definitely
body.
going to be signaling to you or to Dent,
Yeah.
whoever was by her, to can you?
Yeah. So
I don't have time for this.
Yeah. I'll just be like, Nero, we gotta go get Dylan and the horses. Can you help me with that? Please, Nero. You know what? Nero, Salate was dead long before we killed whatever this thing is. You didn't kill her. You killed whatever had taken over her body. And it's just a cruel trick of this creature that they put her face back on her body to torment you. It has nothing to do with what you did to save our lives.
You're sure there's
no way.
they could be saved?
You heard Ressa said about that cut on her body. You saw the amount of blood in her room. Nobody survives that without healing, and she didn't get healing, which means she was dead, and the fish creature was living in her in some way, piloting her body.
That's wrong.
It is. Let's go get Dylan, and we'll talk about it on the walk.
Okay.
Before we head out, can I just kind of take a quick look at the in this little pond?
Oh yeah,
because
you all aren't heading out. They're just trying to get...
no, she's just getting me away from the Fishgician so that Catch can look.
Den, absolutely. You've gone over. There do seem to be some shadows flitting beneath the surface of the water.
I'm gonna roll perception, and while I'm undoing my fishing rod,
You're just like waiting to... I like the perception check just to make sure that you don't like fish up enough.
that is exactly why.
I got a big one.
It's a really big one. All right, here I go with my -1 perception. Gosh, dang it. Okay. If there was anything in the water.
There sure is stuff moving down there.
All right, I'm really excited to fish it up. So here goes. We never did come up with a fish mini game or whatever. What would you like me to roll?
I would say you can have proficiency. So basically make a proficiency dex roll
Okay.
for sort of the casting, etc. And then we'll probably use proficiency strength and reel something.
So my proficiency bonus would add 2 to this. So
That's a
New
fun.
year, same rolls.
Oh no!
I like that somewhere in chat someone was like, "Oh, I think y'all are rolling better tonight," and I was like, "No, no."
Dent can't even fish. Like,
Nope.
jeez.
Okay, so you
I mean, to be
you
fair,
unscrew,
we're coming off a battle. You're a little shook up.
you unscrew the fishing rod that's built into your pinky. You like go back to cast and like pull and just like sort of get tugged backwards as you see like one of the fish people's bodies like flopping towards you along the ground. As you have hooked that instead.
The next time that Dent rolls a natural 1 on a fishing check, can like Finch just like scoop the lure out of existence from the 1 damage. I'm kidding. Don't do that to my bird.
Like Elise's, no, but seriously, don't do that. I will be unhappy. So you hooked a big one. That's yeah. Ketch and Ressa, would you like to investigate Salate's?
Yep.
So investigation is going to be rifling through her pockets. If you want to, do you want to do any other kinds of checks?
I would maybe do a medicine check on her just to see if she had sustained additional injuries.
Sure. Same thing again. Let's go with Ketch. You have advantage on the investigation if Ress is helping you. Probably
And guidance.
11.
Let me roll that d4. 14.
So flipping through sort of the remains of Salate's clothing, you find some, like, in one of the pockets, and almost like a moldering remain of like a ration. You find absolutely waterlogged, destroyed paper. Like it's almost just like paper mash at this point. It was in her pocket, and then she clearly was underwater or in torrential rain for a long period. You find 2 short swords, a longbow, quiver of about let's say 6 arrows, and all of this, all of her like clothing, her gear, etc. As you're investigating this, is in very poor condition. And you've done enough adventuring, Ketch, that you would say that this was a woman who took good care of her gear, but didn't necessarily have a lot of money to replace it. So there were lots of patches, etc. And then stopped taking care of it, and also like started even maybe using it more roughly, and that just sort of took it all to hell. The edges of the blade are burred. The armor is like, some of the patches are missing, etc. And she also did have a coin purse with 17.
Does anyone in our party have mending, or does Dellen have mending?
Dellen does not. Don't know.
Oh.
18 for medicine, and you could also
Yeah.
use guidance on have used guidance on yourself.
20.
And basically, I want to see if I can tell anything about how she could be fish person / Salate. How that change happens, whether the fish person was like inside of her or I don't know. Anything.
So you look at you begin sort of examining Salate's body. You sort of are peeling back some clothing to look at wounds, etc. She died of being pummeled to death. You get to the wounds that were on her side, because you kind of went there because you noticed that first. Before, when you saw it, you could see blood staining her cloak. You could see the damage to the armor. The wounds are sort of deep stab wounds that, assuming that elf flesh is relatively like sort of human flesh, if you picture that, filling those wounds is not scar tissue or humanoid flesh. It's what looks like fish flesh. It's a noticeably different texture, and it's almost capped with a sort of hardened mucus. But that also says to you that she bled for a while. She was covered in blood, but that might have kept her alive. That would have stemmed the flow of blood, potentially, or done something else. You can't tell, but there's actual, like, flesh there again, so that's very strange. Rolling her over, you see a pattern of maybe burns. It's a little bit difficult for you to tell, but scars sort of arcing along her back. And this makes no sense to you from the wounds that you saw, weird flesh change that they had or not, nor does it make sense with anything you all did to her. And they do seem a little bit older.
Okay, so it wouldn't have been the lightning lure.
No, it would not have been. It's not that recent. It's recent, like they're still raw and irritated. This isn't like an old scar, but it isn't something that happened in the last hour.
Okay. Very, very odd. I'll point the fish flesh out to Catch.
Have we seen anyone else that's had mysterious scarring that for some reason feels like it's ringing a bell?
You've seen a couple of other people who have had scars. Berdier was one, but his weren't this. They were like rope burn scars from when he worked on the crew. And Ankind, the shipwright, had like a ruined hand from an accident.
That's what I was thinking
I figured
of.
that might have been what you were thinking of. But that's something that multiple people in the village referenced. Like, that was why he was a patient of Liba's, was for the pain from.
And I wouldn't have gotten a good enough look at Salate's side previously when I talked to her to see if there was anything healing happening.
You really couldn't see it earlier. You could just see the damage to the armor and the amount of blood that was on her.
Okay. But now I can clearly see fish flesh.
So I would keep the arrows. I would take the pouch of the 17 gold and I would toss it to Minnow. And I kind of want to keep the waterlogged paper, but I think everything else is kind of useless to us the way she kept it.
And if there are saddlebags on the horse, I'll check them out.
There are a couple of saddlebags on the horse. You go over and you look at them. They're empty.
Okay.
I'm not going to make you roll an investigation check to discover that they're empty.
Thank you.
Would Dent have seen this? Probably not. You like parsing through the Silate's body.
Well, you probably would have.
Possibly. If you didn't walk away with Nero and Minnow.
I don't think I did.
No, you tried to fish.
I was too busy being distraught
Oh,
over
yeah.
fishing up a fishman. Could I see that piece of paper?
Sure.
It's really closer to like a ball of mush.
Okay, I'm going to cast prestidigitation on it to warm it up and evaporate the water content.
Ooh.
Okay.
It's obviously not going to improve its overall quality, but it maybe will help it from not deteriorating as much.
Yeah. You're able to do that for a little bit. You're kind of gonna need to hold on to that for a little bit, for the amount that, you know, in order to not catch it on fire but continuously keep warming it up. You'll just need to.
Okay. I can warm something for up to 1 hour.
So yeah, you're holding this. Minnow and Nero have walked back and are talking to Dellen, and are sort of, you know, now leading sort of a couple horses by the reins. And Ressa is kind of pondering what she just thought about this, and Ketch, you and Dent are staring at the small lump of paper fiber in Dent's hands. And you hear one of the horses sort of bicker, start. And from nowhere it is raining. Torrential.
Oh.
Lightning is lashing down around you. The paper in your hand is quickly entirely sodden again.
Jeez.
Dent's striking out today.
You hear a strange sound, a hiss. It's difficult to describe. Something scything through rain.
Rain audio is very loud for stream.
It is very loud. Yeah. But
Okay, taking it down. Sorry, wanted to make sure that you actually heard it at first.
Yeah.
can we tell where that hiss or whatever is coming from?
Give me a perception check. Whoever wants to look for it.
My ears are twitching, so.
I'm too distracted.
I will look.
That was Rachel.
Son of a bitch. That was almost like the same roll.
Catch a 16.
Yeah, Minnow.
Ressa a 9, and Minnow a 21. You're trying to... You all sort of, like, go to listen and hear this, try to scope in on it. Where is it coming from? What is happening? Ketch and Ressa, you are not able to pick it up because you were too surprised to see above you, faintly, glimmering lights, green and blue and yellow, coming sort of in and out. And this seems very much like the lights that you saw when you were in Tormenreal, and you looked out and you could see them in this rainstorm. And sort of as you're shielding your eyes from the rain lashing down on you and the lightning strikes, you see these lights and you can't see their source. You can't really determine it. It's very hard to see right now, incidentally. Minnow, as you kind of yank down on the reins to keep one of the horses from just rearing away from you, because they're a little spooked that the air is now water, you hear that sound, and it doesn't sound like anything you've ever heard, but you've also spent enough time. It's up. It is like somewhere above you, and it is moving very quickly from your left to right, from west to east. And you're sort of, again, trying to focus your attention that way, blinking the water out of your eyes. And the rain stops.
That suddenly.
And it is 1 second is like literally you all are looking up, in sort of wonder at these lights, trying to shield your eyes. And the next it feels strange that your hand would be over your eyes. There is no rain coming down.
What is the sound that I heard?
Lights.
It's a
Like, I know you said it's like nothing I've heard before, so I know, great, describe nothing I've heard before.
Well, but you can hear, it's something moving very fast through the rain, and it's in the air. So
that's right, that kind of like scything through the...
That sort of cutting noise. And you can even kind of think of, you've been in Finch's senses, actually, when Finch will, dive. And there's kind of a similar noise to that, but monstrously bigger for you to be able to hear it from that distance moving that quick.
Can I really fast,
fish.
as soon as the as soon as the rain stops and I'm out of kind of the shock of it going away, Finch in the air to see, is the storm is there just a tiny localized storm that just went right over us, or was it just whatever was going above us there was a storm, and once it was over us the storm is gone? Does that
you'll send Finch up and communicate with Finch, who I kind of assume was just sort of circling in the air or perched on a tree generally. There is no storm in the area.
Okay.
They would also report to you that a few moments before, there was a storm over the entire area.
What does Finch mean by entire area? Like the whole island?
Pretty much as far as they could see.
As far as Finch can see.
Which for Finch stretches out into the bay and the lake some. It was just torrential rain and they are in their Fey spirit communicative way. Thanks 5e for not really defining what the hell they can say and not say. But they would describe from their perspective, everything they could see, because they kind of alarmedly looked around. Also, they look pissed again, by the way. They're a wet bird.
Drenched again, yes. Poor Finch.
Looked just like here from the perspective of the sky. Pretty much everything they could see was just a layer of heavy cloud, lashing rain, lightning.
Okay. So Nero's with me, right? And Dellen, I guess, at this point, because we've got the horses and Dellen and everything. And I'm going to be okay, so these flash mob storms are popping up possibly to cover or permit the movement of something through the sky?
Would
I don't think
Ressa
you're
have...
with us, are you? Or... Oh, sorry. I thought we were separate, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, Ressa, you're with me.
Okay.
I don't know. If you were going to try and respond to Minnow, I don't think you would have heard.
If you weren't, then you can talk.
Well, I did have a question other than, because one of the things I think that Ressa would have done, almost immediately as the storm started, because Margaret told her that she thought this was as a result of Bion coming, Bion's presence. So Ressa would have immediately tried to reach out to see if she could, feel Bion.
You reach out and yes, God exists.
I know my God.
Give me a wisdom check with I don't want to make it religion, because religion feels like that's the academic study of what do I know in the text, etc. And your casting stat is wisdom.
So I'm already proficient in it. Do I add another proficiency?
No.
Okay.
Oh,
And I'll roll a d4 just to help.
Yeah, because this is a skill check, not a save. 11.
Huh.
You do not feel any unusual presence of Bion. The way I would put it, because it's the presence of Bion that you would be most used to experiencing, is you're a divine caster. You do not feel, say, the infusion of a deity's presence in the world that you do when you cast a spell.
Okay.
Because that's relatively familiar with you. Anything else about it with that, I don't think you have too much, but like you don't feel that.
Okay.
can I just say too, while Minnow is talking to us and asking questions, I feel like I vaguely remember Minnow being cold before the last time she got wet or something. Or
Yes.
You gave her a sock, I think.
yes, so I'm going to use my elemental attunement, which as an action lets me warm up to 1 pound of non-living material. So every 6 seconds, I'm just going to choose a different piece of clothing to warm up on Minnow's body to just be like, now
This
is
is
one
a
sock,
art
here's
mimics
the other
life.
sock.
Life mimics
Right.
art. Lisa's always freezing. Minnow's always freezing.
Gonna warm up part of your pant leg, and then another part of your
Speaking
pant leg.
of warming things up, I'm still casting prestidigitation on this scrap paper.
You're honestly, you hadn't gotten very far into drying it out, so it don't feel like much harm was done. But yeah, you all can you finish walking back. You have the horses. What would you like to do?
Did you say you sense something moving with the storm, Minnow?
Yeah, I could hear something up above us, like cutting through the storm, as if it was moving very, very fast through the storm to the point where
moving in the direction that we were already going, or
it was moving west to east, which I believe we're moving mostly north.
Correct. So it was almost moving transverse to you.
okay. Well, that's concerning.
Yeah, well, these storms keep popping up, right? And then they keep going away, and we see lights. So maybe the lights in some way indicate the presence also, like the storm. Okay, because we could either be dealing with like the storm as cover for whatever this thing is to not be seen, because we can't see through the sudden downpour. So whatever it is cutting through can't be seen that way. Or it actually needs the storm or brings a storm when it moves.
Dylan, is there anything is going west to east?
Yeah.
Dylan, is there anything in the east of where we're at on the isle?
The northeast of us is Moontree Rock, which seems to be the source of some local attentions, which makes me a bit uncomfortable, given that is where the drop for Deephold is. I'm a little concerned that so many people might be paying attention to this right now, but also generally there would be the coast past that. I do not know of too many things outside of
Back
I
up the
would.
bodies.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're
I
fine.
would. So I was gonna pull Ressa aside specifically and to ask. I think a lot of the people here are worshippers of your god, are they not?
They are. They are.
What are the normal funeral rites or ways that the bodies are handled when that's the case?
I would go ahead and give her those details, which I don't necessarily know.
We did
Galway.
actually talk about that one at one point.
Oh no, I should have written it down then.
The Church of Bion is generally very focused on harmony and sort of balance. So while there are funerary rites, like rituals to perform on a body, the specific form of, say, internment versus cremation versus burial at sea depends on the needs of the area. Here, you sort of knew with Margit coming over, it was most likely that they were going to bury the dead man that you had found at sea, but they would perform the burial rituals.
Okay. So I would
know. Okay, so you would tell me that. Sorry,
Yeah.
Heather.
No, that's fine.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. I know that you say she wasn't her, and Minnow says that she was most likely already dead. But then I feel like that means we owe her something, since it wasn't actually her doing this. And I know I am sentimental, and I realize that perhaps now is not the time for funeral rites. I am just worried about leaving the body here and not being able to recover it later for friends and family for whom it might be important to. And I just wondered if you had suggestions on a respectful way to handle that before we leave that didn't compromise our mission.
I could certainly say prayers over her. That wouldn't take very long. I don't know that she had family on the island. Alternatively, we could fling the body over the back of the horse and take her along with us until we find a proper burial place. Perhaps burial at sea, if we get close to the shore.
I would say maybe we can take the body and place it under a tree or a bush or something. You can say prayers and we can remember where it is for once we kill every single last one of whatever these fish people are.
That
Fully
will
burn them all to the ground and stop them from doing whatever they're doing.
absolutely. I think that's a sensible thing to do.
So
Can you
then
help
I'd
me?
ask you to, help me
Help
pull
me
the
carry
body
this
over.
body.
So we'll try and hide the body some, and I'll let Ressa say some Bion prayers.
Mhm.
Yeah, it doesn't take more than 5 or 10 minutes. You don't. I don't think you have ceremony prepared.
Right.
Which would be
I don't.
Yeah, which would be the spell where there you could do sort of a full burial rite. But you can say sort of the general prayers of this without going into, this would normally be, potentially an hours long process, but you can say sort of most of the summative protection, well wishes, departure of, a soul to Bion's side. You do that, you lay her on the ground underneath the smaller tree near the lake, which gives her sort of good shelter. You could also pretty easily, there's branches that have fallen down, almost put a little bower. And yeah, that probably only takes about 15 minutes all told.
While they were doing that, Ketch is piling the other two bodies over by the water.
Fair enough.
As a warning.
You come up here, see what's gonna fucking happen to you, goddamn fish people.
Yeah.
Dellen has helped sort of get the horses ready, get them back assigned. I'm trying to remember who was riding where.
I was riding with Ketch because that's how I threw up on Ketch.
Right, you were riding with. You were
I
riding
was
with
alone
Ketch.
because Dellen did not want to ride with me.
I would
think
ask
someone was riding with
Dellen as
me.
he's saddling the horses and things. I'd be like, "Hey, you got a
Dellen
healing
was
spell?
with Ressa.
Yeah.
You got a healing spell for your girl?"
Yeah.
Dellen?
Yeah.
Mostly
Or-
Dellen, because I wouldn't want. Does Dellen have any healing magic?
His casting seems very similar to yours, so you would suspect wizard. And
No. Boo! All right, then I'll find Ressa. And after
Okay.
the prayer, wait for the prayers to finish a little a little exasperated, but not going to say anything, like very respectful outward of appearance from Minnow of the procedure here. And then as soon as it's done, like,
Yeah.
Ressa, got any juice for a healing spell? I also have this healing potion. I don't know which one would be the better one to prioritize right now.
How badly are you down?
I'm down 15. It's 15 out of. Imagine I had 35 pennies and that represented my life force, and then I lost 15 of those. That's where I'm at.
All right.
What's a penny?
Copper pieces. That's what we call it back in
So
my
wait,
hometown, which is your hometown too.
what's your total HP?
35.
Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 35, you're feeling.
I'm a 20.
You're
I'm
a
feeling
20.
a 20.
Yeah.
All right.
You just regained 19. So
Hey, thanks. So full health. Thank you.
Too bad I
So
overshot, but
Should
okay.
we make haste to Lachlan's and on the off chance that he has not turned into a fishman?
and yes,
Definitely.
let's make haste to Lachlan's. We need to be
Let's
careful
make
for
haste
traps.
to Lachlan's place.
Yeah. And yeah, we just have to be careful for traps.
Yes, Minnow will check for so many traps. Keeping a keen eye for traps at the front of the party, like
You're
Minnow
gonna send
do.
Finch ahead too, right?
Yeah, Finch will go ahead. Scout and Minnow will be watching for traps, and Finch will be watching for traps separately, as well as just anything Finch might see that would be of interest to come back and report to us.
so you're going along. You're riding. It's about another hour's ride. Finch is sort of launching forward and then circling back into telepathy range with you. Report seeing a dwelling sort of out beyond where they want to fly at first, but don't see anything odd. It's not like on fire, overrun with fish people, generally good status. As you get closer again, yeah, they're going to report that, yep, there's a house, there's a little bit of smoke coming from the chimney, but the house isn't on fire. Nothing seems bad.
Does it smell like burning porridge?
Chee, does it smell fishy?
It does not. It smells like a wood fire. And soon enough, you sort of round a copse of trees and you see this house. There's a high hedge wall rising from the grass, concealing most of what's behind it. Above that, you can see the second story of a somewhat careworn, though still quite nice house, well larger than pretty much anything you've seen on Moontree. You don't see any lights in the windows, but it's about midday, so you wouldn't necessarily be surprised. And you do see a little trail of smoke coming up from the chimney.
You said it's been an hour. Has my prestidigitation effectively evaporated the water content of this?
Yeah, it's warmed it enough, and also being out in the sun, it was in a pocket that was still wet. That this appears to have been mostly dry now. You essentially now have a papier-mâché ball.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't look like I can uncurl it and examine the contents.
Give me a sleight of hand check.
We all know how sleight of hand the event is.
Guidance.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Just picturing Ressa riding by on the horse with Dylan. Slap! Playing.
Gosh, I really need the guidance. I don't think I'm gonna. I think it's gonna disintegrate in my hand.
Oh man.
Gosh, dang
11.
it.
With an 11, you start to you think you see the edge of maybe a page crumpled, and as you start to sort of pick at it, you can feel that if you keep going the way you are, it will disintegrate. But you stop before you do that.
Yay. Okay. So this was the little piece of paper. I got all the water out, but I think we're gonna need a more careful hand than mine to actually do anything useful with it. Would anyone like to hold on to this?
I'll take it. This guy we're going to see is a magic user, right?
Yeah.
Apparently a really powerful one.
And we are in front of his place?
Yeah,
Yes.
you're probably about 60 feet off from the hedge wall, which seems to surround the grounds as well as the house.
Can't see the actual house?
You can see a little bit of like the second story above the hedge wall. And there's a large gate, sort of double gate set in.
And none of you guys have detect magic?
I do.
Okay.
I do now, yes.
I say now's the time to use it.
Do you want me to detect it and just walk around for a bit and see what I notice, or?
Well, like, Minnow's been checking for traps. And
Really
this
well,
guy's
too. She's very
magical.
useful.
So I guess my question is, are there magical traps?
Wait,
The
doesn't
guy
Ed
lives out
have...
here all by himself. There are like secret fish people roaming the streets. If I was him, I would have some traps.
Yeah, Ed was able to detect the warding magic in Leva's place, but that was because we directly passed through it.
Ah.
Also, anytime anybody says secret anything, I just sing it as secret tunnel in my head.
Tunnel.
Yeah, secret fish people. Like, it just-
I mean, we have the medicine from Leba. We could also just like stand outside the hedge and be like, Lachlan, and then like be like, we're friendly. We have medicine from Leba, and like see what happens.
It doesn't hurt
I'm
me
all
to
for nailing
detect
his
magic
head.
either.
That's true.
I'll
That's
do
true.
it.
Why not both?
Okay, Galway. Fearbulk magic.
Okay, so
Activate Fearbulk magic.
I say it exactly. I do like a Sailor Moon pose as I do it, and I do a little twirl around, and my monk things just around me, and I say, "Activate Fearbulk magic, detect magic."
Did your skirt get shorter?
Obviously,
And her boots got longer.
yeah.
Or his boots got longer.
Yeah, thank you.
And
yeah,
his skirt
so-
got shorter.
just to not, cheat you of duration on this spell, where would you like to be when you cast that? Do you want to get up, like, it only sees within 30 feet of you. So do you want to go up to, like, within 30 feet of the hedge maze? Or not the hedge maze, the hedge wall? Do you want to just start from where you are and then walk in?
I think start from where I am and walk in.
Okay. So it'll last about 10 minutes. So you start it. You do not see anything within 30 feet of you, which is about 20 feet short of where the hedge starts. And essentially right in front of you at that 20 feet is also the gate.
And I don't detect anything on the gate, or...
As you walk a bit closer, you do not detect any magic on the gate. You do not detect any magic on the edge itself.
I don't notice any magic on the gate or on the hedge. Did we want to move
And-
through?
There's
gate,
no like,
can we see the
mechanical
door?
traps or anything. Like, is it worth doing the
I
investigation?
didn't check for that.
I'm asking Galway. Lisa's asking Galway.
There certainly could be a mechanical trap. Like, the bottom part of the gate is screened. Like, it's solid.
Okay.
And then it's more like a metal barred gate above. So you certainly could give me an investigation check if you want.
Sure. I'll use my Mage Hand Ledger Domain just to be fancy. And maybe prevent my hand from getting chopped off.
It's always good.
19.
Guidance.
Oh, great. Slap some guidance on that. Let's go.
So, Mage Hand
20.
Ledger Domain would more apply to picking the lock if you were going to
You
do
know,
that.
if I'm going to poke.
Oh, so you're investigating
I don't
via
know.
poke. I was like,
Yeah,
you can't.
I don't know. I mean, like, I'll get up close, but if there's something I have to touch, it's the Mage Hand, okay? I don't
Okay.
know. I'm just...
So with the
Lisa doesn't know how to search for traps. Minnow does.
a 20
20.
with the guidance. You're checking around. You have your mage hand out in case you need to sort of hit anything or like see anything suspicious that you want to investigate. And you do actually see resting on, so again, if you picture like the bottom panel of the gates are solid and then it's sort of metal bars coming up, where those are coming off of, it's, you know, a little flat plane. On the underside of it, you're able to sort of crane your head just enough to see there's what looks like a thin strip of metal that isn't part of the metal of the gate.
Do I have a sense of what it would be used for? Is this like a pressure plate to do something?
No,
or?
it looks like it's covering something. Like it looks like it's almost papered over something.
Maybe it's a key. It's like hiding a key in a rock, you know? You
I'll
just
have
hide a
everybody
key under your piece
stand
of
back,
metal.
just in case, and I will also stand back and then have my mage hand move it aside or kind of try
Yeah, it
to
looks
get
like it's
under
sort of
it
like a
and see.
peel. Like it's like a
Yeah, okay.
almost like a sticker. You peel
Okay.
it back. For 4 of you, when she does that, absolutely nothing happens. Nero, the gate is powerfully warded.
Oh.
As you
There's
float
lots
this
of
back to
magic
you,
there.
as you float this back to you now, Elise, you can see that this is a thin strip of lead, which was probably being used to cover one of the rooms.
Cool. I'll eat it.
Nom, 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 nom.
I'm sorry, what?
And then you
Veg
start
nuts.
vomiting from lead poisoning.
I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
I like how you're trying to sell the bad rolls. Like I need something. Lead poisoning. That's it. That's why Minno's not feeling good.
That's why
She's just
Minnow
been doing this the whole time. Nom, 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 nom.
sees lead, eats lead. Candy. Yeah.
Nero's just gonna tell you the whole gate is glowing. It's heavily warded. I'm assuming, so I know I can like see or know the school of magic. Does that just mean that it's like I don't
Would
you could just tell me warding
It
and I'll say sure.
is abjuration magic.
And that's a thing that you have to keep people out of things? Or like a
Abjuration
protection type thing?
Protective or
Yeah,
Protective, defensive, shielding.
I DM multiple games, still
is
don't know the different
Nero-
schools of magic.
Is Nero telling us this calmly? Or is Nero okay?
90% of Nero's interaction is calm.
Is calm. Unless they're a Fishgician. And then
It's like 90% calm, 7% hysterical sobbing, 3% angry that someone might have lied.
and yeah, okay, gotcha. Ressa,
Yes.
did what's her name? Like give us like a I don't know, like a secret phrase or something for this guy?
Secret
No. She's
Okay.
just said to watch out for traps. Although, given the protection magic on her shop, Dent, do you think Ed would be able to tell if this is kind of the same protection magic? So it wouldn't necessarily hurt us to walk through it?
There's only one way of finding out, but I'm going to ask Ed. Hey Ed,
What's up? bud?
would you be able to detect the specific, like if it's the same thing as back in Leva's place, and also, could we just like scratch out a rune and that would like render the whole thing, you know,
Sometimes.
impotent?
Sometimes it makes it blow up. Not really sure which one this is until I get a little bit of a look-see. Here,
Okay.
could you just move me a little bit closer? Just position. Turn your chest a little bit, buddy. A little bit.
Yep. I'm doing it.
But yeah, you're just sort of like chest bumping the gate. Give me an Arcana check from Ed,
See this? Dent just
which is a 20 plus 7.
Yeah,
or a D20.
I'm just
Yeah.
chest pumping. Yeah.
And talking to yourself from their
Yes.
perspective.
And he has
You're loving
not advantage, but he has like a much higher
It's a plus
Arcana
7.
roll.
And guidance.
Okay, and
And you
guidance.
can have guidance.
Ed's getting guidance. All right, so here's Arcana. So we're adding 5 to
7.
this.
7.
Oh, because you have 5. Because you already have 2.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
you're just adding 5.
So add 5 to that plus a D4.
So 11, 13.
Well, not the greatest angle for observing rooms, buddy, but don't worry, you're doing your best. I don't think it's harmful to you. I don't see any signs that it would be. Not entirely sure what it is, and because I'm not, I would not recommend that you erase one of the runes. Perhaps you can have one of your meat buddies do that.
Wow, I didn't realize Ed was so heartless.
And
Meat buddies. Oh.
So what are the constraints of Mage Hand Ledger Domain? Can it scratch things?
You are, yeah, you're because it can wield thieves' tools.
I don't know that we want to scratch it out because if this
Maybe
is
let's just
detective magic and
send the
like-
mage hand to knock.
how about we just
Yeah.
yell for him and like
Yeah.
detective once we're
Hold
on
up the medicine bag with your mage hand and we can just yell his name.
Got your DoorDash.
yeah.
I know,
Someone on the
contact-
floor by the
no
door.
contact.
Contact
but-
free DoorDash.
But you did knock still. It's actually kind of annoying. Yeah, okay. So I'll have the mage hand take the bag of medicine and I'll float it up to the door and just thunk 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 thunk. And from behind the gate, how
So-
far is like can I yell and be heard?
Just to be clear, this is the gates to the grounds. This isn't
Okay.
the door of the house.
So it's
you can't
probably
see
like
that.
beyond. Okay.
Oh,
What if we just built a
good.
ladder over it?
Sorry, Chris, you were trying to say something, but
can Finch fly in and like find the door, knock on the door or something?
I mean, Finch can go, but like Finch can't. I mean, like how far Finch can how far can I be in Finch's mind? Is the real question because, like, you know, if this magic user is say a wizard, perhaps they'll recognize a familiar. What does this? Oops,
I'm tempted to just walk right in.
not even there. Yeah, I mean, like who
Send a
knows?
horse through.
Explode? Like, okay, new plan.
throw a horse through. Rest is old fallback.
The mage hand gives the medicine back upon seeing this isn't going to work, and then just walks up or like moves up to the gate and just like
Is it just walking like a little hand?
Yes. and then just like grabs and rattles the gate. Does anything happen?
Sort of the hand, spectral hand grabs one of the bars and rattles it, and as it does, the gate just swings open.
Suspicious.
Do I notice anything weird changing in the magicness?
No.
And it's still just focused on the gate? Like there's nothing shimmering in where the gate was? Well, it seems clear magically.
Well, I mean, I guess, in Liba's place, we did just straight up walk right in and out.
Mhm. I
Maybe
feel
it only stops fish people.
Maybe you have to have permission.
I don't know.
How do wardings work? I mean, I've got like 8 lives left. Do you want me to just walk right on through?
Yeah, I was gonna say Minna's sidling up to the gate and just like
Yeah,
Her
I think
real
we're all
hands
getting a
now.
little closer.
real hand through the gate. Anything?
No.
Minna
Put your
steps
right hand in.
through
Put
the
your-
gate.
I'm sorry.
You are.
You're not
Spend
gonna hokey
10
pokey?
minutes
You were-
deciding on whether or not to walk through this gate, and we're all going to decide to walk through, and then we're going to
Den's
step
just
on a
walking
landmine.
through. Den's just going.
I will also freely
I
say
think everybody is just going.
this is one of my joys as a DM who has now invoked traps, as it's like, shit, it's an open door. What do?
Yeah.
Can't be
Why is
this
the door
easy.
open?
This is kind of reminding me of the church back
A landmine.
early ages ago.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Let's just all go through.
Minnow, you don't feel anything weird. Your hand isn't like spontaneously combusting or anything. Dent, you're just sort of clank, 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 walk through.
Okay.
Catch follows after you once you haven't caught on fire. And I think everybody else just sort of trails through. One question is, what do you want to do with your horses?
I was just getting ready to ask, are we taking them in with us?
Yes.
Or...
Yeah,
I mean-
let's have
Good
Dellen can wait in the courtyard at least with the horses.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, Chris. I talked over you.
fine. I was just saying that the last unattended horse had its neck.
Right.
That wasn't your
Hey.
horse yet.
We should keep our horses with us.
It would have been if she hadn't taken it. We would have been
Mhm.
slow.
Gate 2021. Get out of here.
So you walk in, and there's a sort of a gravel path, fairly wide, about 20 feet wide, that takes you in. And in front of you, you see thorned bushes, sort of raising up, clearly covering like a retaining wall, and that stretches up probably another 15 feet. And then you can see the gardens appear to be divided in two. On your right, there is, you can see grapevines on trellises, and sort of looking through it, you can see sort of fruits and vegetables and like flowers laid out in a row, so that looks like sort of a cultivation garden. And then to your left, you can see there's a path with trellises and hedge walls that looks like it's a walking path with lots of very colorful flowers sort of growing. You can even see like a little statue at a point where the path bends, so that looks like that's a walking path.
Do we see
Should we close the gate?
Oh, sorry.
Should we close the gate behind us?
I get it's
I'm
only
inclined to.
polite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I'll close it.
swing the gate closed.
Close it.
Would Finch have been kind of just like flying around the whole time?
Yeah, so what is Finch doing generally?
Yeah, I think flying around, but I think at a certain point, like if Finch doesn't see anything on the grounds, like I would kind of send Finch ahead to the main building. I really need to look up Find Familiar, because what I want to know is how far, is it like 100 feet, 100? Okay. That I can like see through. Are we 100 feet or less from the door, from the main building?
It's a little bit difficult for you to tell because of the shape of the grounds and stuff. But I will say you'll have Finch sort of lie on what you would assume is the straight path towards the house. And just for the dramatic timing of it, we'll say that this is as you're walking forward. Nero, you notice that the thorn wall and the area around it is glimmering with magic.
What kind? Sorry.
I love that you demand to know, even though you just said you don't know what the schools of magic do.
But I know that Elise will know the School of Magic, and then she will tell me
True.
what it
I
means.
have to double check.
That's
Conjuration.
elemental.
That's the thing where you make things come into being.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I was thinking evocation. You're right. Conjuration.
Yeah,
is that.
conjuration. You conjure
I mean,
things,
thank
or more accurately, you move things through spaces and planes.
I should have played that off like I meant it, or like that I was like trying to trick you. Sorry.
That?
You have Finch fly, and you're kind of in Finch's sense. Would you be in Finch's senses trying to do this recon run?
Yeah, I think like what I'm kind of vaguely hoping for is that like Finch will encounter Lachlan first, and like magic user to magic user, like
You can
Lachlan
have like
will
Finch do
recognize.
like a little dance.
Yeah,
I'm a
exactly.
familiar.
That Lachlan will
A hand
recognize
sign.
a familiar. Yeah.
Recognize the pissed off Fey look on this bird. Like, that's a familiar.
Yes.
So you're flying and you see the house in front of you. It's probably another 120 feet in or so. And then as you're flying, the party on the ground is about 30 feet in front of you. So
like a loop.
yeah, pretty much. And with if someone has called out conjuration, it seems like if you try to go over this wall, you're going to get teleported back.
Okay, so
Over the thorn
yeah,
wall?
I would share that, like that I noticed the magic on the viney, thorny
Yeah.
stuff.
I would coming back to Minnow. tell everyone what happened with Finch.
He was just flapping in the air.
Go do something useful.
Can we like give Finch a note to hold in his beak that like says, "We have your medicine. We're
Right.
friends."
We are the
Unfortunately,
good
like-
guys.
Yeah.
Your DoorDash is here.
Yeah.
How far? We still don't know how far from the house we are.
About 120.
120.
Was what
Yards.
Finch
or
saw.
feet?
Feet.
Is it a direct line to the house, or do we have to go through shit?
This is like a maze. Do we have to get through a maze?
Run. Nero, we should run.
I was picturing it like we were being blocked by the thorn wall.
Yes, the thorn wall in front of you appears to block any direct passage. You can go to either of the gardens to the left or the right.
Anybody have dispel magic or whatever it is called in this game?
That's not an innate part of my being. I'm
I
sorry.
Dallin?
Ellen, do something
Yes?
useful, man.
I have burning hands.
So do I.
You could see
We
about
shouldn't
burning...
burn this man's house down.
No,
I
maybe
was
the thorn
the-
wall.
The thorn wall,
And-
but
Anyway,
And
Dallin,
maybe
you can
magic.
dispel magic?
Helping him protect. Oh,
Craig went.
Craig
just-
left.
Craig's
just
gone.
left.
We're all, Craig!
Everybody's on high threat alert.
yeah, I was like, oh no, all the windows changed.
Yeah. All of a sudden they got bigger. I was like,
Oh, I hide my Craig.
Yeah, I just
I
heard
don't
the
need to look at
doo-doo.
his teddy bear face.
Now recording.
There we go.
Now
Welcome back,
recording.
Craig.
I
Try to
don't
do
want to take away all of this man's protections by burning things down because
Yes,
I don't.
So,
We're not the only things possibly hunting him.
Dallin, can you dispel his magic?
I feel that if the concern around this point is taking down his protections, just directly dispelling the magic would kind of also.
I will say it's probably, I mean, I don't do magic, but it's probably pretty easy to reset a trap than it is to regrow a bunch of ivy and then set a trap on it. So if
But
we burned it all, we would make it a lot harder than if you just dispelled it, he could just do it again.
We have to get through here somehow. Minnow will start investigating around the thorn wall to see if there's any
yeah,
sign.
one of the other paths.
And did you have another suggestion, Dellen, other than just saying no?
I was more picking up on your point of not wanting to strip away his defenses.
I appreciate that.
I could see outside of that, it seems like if Lachlan is invoking this kind of magic. I'm at this point also just imagining Finch is for fun flying through the teleport. So it's just like,
I told Finch to do something useful, and this is what I do.
Dellen is just kind of watching like, that's pretty fancy. That's pretty high level. That's more than I knew Lachlan was capable of.
Wait a
And-
second. If I climb this wall and jump, I'm gonna come back up over there.
Do you want to
Probably.
try?
Yes.
Don't get scratched up by all the thorns.
Dent
How
chucks
tall
his,
is it?
Dent,
About
Dent
15
chucks his
feet.
head at the thorn wall.
I don't
Or
think you can
over?
actually separate your head, can you?
Yeah, he took it
It's a
off.
helmet.
It doesn't change your perception. Like, your perception is rooted in your core being, but you can absolutely throw the helmet.
That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Okay. It's about 15 feet up, to answer your question, Chris. You hork the helmet, and behind you hear clang, clang, clang.
And does it like kind of hit the back of my heel?
Yeah.
Yes.
Just like
okay.
skids in. There's a little spray of gravel like tick, 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 against your armor.
Ketch, you should definitely try that.
I think I'm gonna go check out some of the side paths. Maybe if he catches a glimpse of us, you know.
Sure.
we
Do you want to
can-
go left or right? Left is the walking path. Right is the sort of like vegetable garden.
I'll go right. Anyone want to come with?
Yeah, I was going to start investigating around the thing too, so we could
Yeah,
also
to
go
jump
jump
the wall.
and report back.
Okay.
Would like to jump the wall.
There was just a loud thump in my house.
It was Dent's head.
Okay. Ketch is trying to jump the wall. Ressa and Dent are going right. Minnow, are you going left? The walking path? Okay. Nero, what are you doing?
What is jump vertical? Or yeah, because jump is vertical and leap is horizontal, or
I'm gonna do whatever it is
I
required.
have step of
to
the
jump over
wind,
this thing.
which doubles my jump distance.
It works both ways. Jump is you can either do a vertical jump or like a horizontal jump, and the rules for which are bonkers in 5e, because there's this entire thing of it doesn't matter how far you can jump, you can't exceed your movement speed, with a variety of beneficial things for your jumps. You can jump high enough that you take fall damage. Yeah, it's real weird.
Which is good because I don't really take a lot of fall damage anyway.
Fair enough.
Is the thorns? The thorns teleporting thing, can Finch fly above and over the thorns and not be teleported, or is it just like all of the air above the thorns also teleports you?
It looks like the air above it. You see the shimmer going up.
Can I see where it ends at all?
It looks like it domes over the house.
Domes over the house?
Difficult to tell, but
Since we can't see the house right now.
well, I'm just thinking of the optics of you also can only see magic for 30 feet.
Right.
Yeah.
Can
Okay.
we blast a hole in the thorn wall? Is the thorn wall included in the glimmering
If we
protective
blast
barrier, or is it just starting above the thorn wall?
It's difficult to tell. There's also a stone part of the wall within it.
Yeah, but like the detect magic part. Is the magic on the wall itself, or is it starting above the wall?
It could be originating behind the wall. That's what's not entirely clear. Okay, so we've got.
I get it.
Huh?
I want to step of the wind and jump as like high up and forward as I can go.
You're trying to get that nice like ballistic trajectory.
Yeah, to see if I can see, if I can get over it, and if I can't, B, to see if I can see how far the magic extends. Like I want to jump far enough before it teleports me to see where it ends, and I'll spend my key point to do that.
Okay. Give me your choice of acrobatics or athletics. I imagine you're going to want acrobatics.
Sure am. 19.
That one really
legitimately-
wanted to be a 1.
I thought that was a 1, and I was like, God, no. Why? God, no. 19. Yeah, you sort of like brace yourself, ready your energy, run. There's a sort of poof of wind underneath your feet as you launch forward. Just as you get past the wall, you are now back out at sort of the hedge, tumbling forward. You're able to land without hurting yourself or anything. Technically speaking, yes, you took some fall damage. You did the standard thing that you can do. Yeah,
so
you just walk right through it. I'm just sparing us some dice rolls we don't need. So it seems like the magic starts right on the other side of the wall, and it did appear as you kept going in that it is receding back towards the house. So it's either a dome or slope.
So I'll just then run because I'm super fast now. I don't know why I'm sorry. This is my running. And I'll just say, Catch, that was really fun. You should definitely just try it. But also, I think that the magic goes all the way back towards the house and it can't be jumped over. We could tunnel. I don't know that any of us can tunnel quickly. We don't have any moles.
Flashbacks.
Who has polymorph? And
Is anyone friends with a Zorn?
Flashbacks also to
thaumaturgy?
Honey Heist. Woo, where I was a badger. It's great.
do badgers dig burrow under things?
Mhm.
Okay.
All right, so
Does
Mhm.
Does Ed or Dent, do you have thaumaturgy?
No, I do not.
Okay. Where's Dellen right now?
He's still like, do you want me to try to dispel this, or?
I think not yet. I would double back, say, Dent, hang on. Do you have thaumaturgy, Dellen?
No.
Darn it.
Let's
Okay.
Do you have anything useful magically right now to us?
I could make our approach to the house much stealthier.
But we can't approach the house.
I mean, there are side.
Oh, that's a fair point.
Yep.
So far, we've had the bird. We've had Finch do that a lot, so it's not a number of times thing. It keeps working. We've had you, so it's not a mass of the creature involved thing, unless they need to be way bigger or way smaller. So I could either try to take that down, or we could try to one of the side paths. I could make us sneakier so that maybe people don't see us coming. If there's anyone hostile in here.
I think I don't know that we need to sneak. I think we want to get his attention to let him know we're here and friendly. So
That makes sense.
yeah.
I don't think I have much else that would be much help.
Okay. I'm just gonna. What do you think if I just start calling out, walking up the side path, calling out for him, and holding up the package? Sound reasonable, guys?
I've already yelled his name and he was not very nice in responding, but I say we yell.
Okay. So I'd say, can we see the house from the side path?
You can still sort of see the top of it. It looks like the side paths go off to the side and then curve around towards the house.
Okay. So I was wanting to try to get us in a position where we'll probably be able to see us fairly clearly, and then start calling out for him.
If that's what you're gonna do, I would recommend the right path more than the left.
Okay. I think that's where the one we were.
That was where you were going anyway.
Going on.
But
Yeah. I'm with you.
we're gonna step away and take a quick break for a second. But just before we do, I just wanted to determine, what do people want to do? So is everyone going to the right, or are we
Finch
splitting?
look on either
left.
side and see which way seemed better, or I don't know.
I think Minnow was already down the left path
Okay.
investigating. So,
Minnow to the left, Nero.
I'd probably follow after Minnow then.
Dent, you were going with Ressa and then Ketch. Can't hear you.
Catch is still trying to figure out if he really wants to try and jump the wall, even though Nero's already done it. There's no one here anymore to watch him as he does this, so he's gonna. Where's Dellen? Is he still standing with Catch?
Standing by you, still sort of like holding a pin. So do it. Everyone's leaving us.
I think we're gonna put a pin in that, and let's go this way. And we'll go to the right.
Okay. He's gonna like grab the reins of all four horses and like slowly sort of is like pulling them along. Like,
No,
this is-
you know what? I think we can leave them here.
Oh, okay.
I think I mean, like that thing on the gate. I feel like maybe they're safe here.
That's a fair point. So he'll he'll actually tie the horses to the gate. And let's take a quick break. We will be back in probably around 10 minutes. Thank you so much for watching right now. Soon. All right. We good? Hello there, everybody. We are back. Also, no one needed to manage their smoky fish porridge.
No smoky fish porridge.
No. That was a
So I gotta be
horrifying
honest.
detail that I put in, and I didn't expect someone to be like, "I'll go eat that." Like, no.
You know, what's surprising is that's not going to keep Catch from tasting everything else. I mean,
That's fair.
it's-
Well-
So I know that Dent probably does not possess a sense of smell. But I think he's like just now taking a notice to Catch and Catch's state, and he's gonna cast Prestidigitation on you to help clean you up a little bit.
That's good. So, before
I
the
appreciate
break, we investigated the remains of last time, which involved vomit, compulsive sobbing, and a formerly fishy, now humanoid body. We had a freak storm. Had a bit of a wander to get to Lachlan's place, discovering that Liba was apparently not wrong. This place is defended well, magically. And the party attempted to decide what to do while Finch the bird just went through the teleport shield. Not really trap, just defense. The party has now split. Two people have gone left, Nero and Minnow, which is into the sort of walking garden with lots of flowers, and you can even see like some statuary and sort of these. It's not quite a hedge maze, but like walking under trellises, that kind of enclosure. And then the remainder of the party went right, Dellen primarily because Ketch was like, yeah, that way. And Dellen is incapable of taking initiative, which is partially because it makes it much easier for me. And means you don't notice it as badly when I entirely forget that he exists, as do the rest of us. We're just like, oh shit, right, Dellen. You probably have had thoughts, feelings, opinions at some point. Like, not really. No.
You're a real boy.
So I will ask. I think let's start with the party that's going to the left, if that is okay with people. So you are going into essentially this tunnel. Above you, you can see beautiful sort of flame red flowers woven through the roof of this trellis, with sort of yellow patterning on the petals. There's a little bit of like statuary around you, etc. What would you like to do?
Do I still have detect magic up?
No, you lost that in
Melon mouth.
in the debate of how to deal with the thorn wall / paths.
Or
I guess Minnow will have Finch fly with us, and occasionally kind of zip over and see if Finch is still getting set back, just to see if there's any like place or break in the perceived possible dome, and otherwise just kind of follow the path and like look for any signs or clues that might lead us to where we're supposed to be going, or how Lachlan would approach his own home, or have friends come to his home who might know
Sure.
the way.
So you go in a little bit. You send Finch out. Give me a perception check to try to see like if you're noticing things, where you are, etc. $21. As you're walking, you sort of hold a hand up to Nero, just like stop. It's very subtle. You almost don't notice it. But the air around you is just a little bit different. And you try to reach out to Finch, and you don't get anything back. You're fairly sure you are not in the same space that you were in before.
Like a dimensional kind of other space, or because my first thought was like anti-magic field, right?
It seems like it might be a different dimensional space. Like the air is, it's not super noticeable, but now that you have you thought about it, etc., it's colder, it's a little quieter. Like the trellis, the sort of shaping of the plants around you prevents you from seeing that much around you, but it isn't that it's visibly impenetrable. Like you were able to send Finch out through a gap very easily. It's more that it makes it seem more the same, right? It reduces what you could notice past a certain point. And you've already seen teleportation going off, so you're like, oh shit, don't know where we are.
Okay, if I back up, is this like a two-way door that I can back and forth between?
I don't know why I just start talking over you as you're literally talking, and then halfway through realize that was rude.
ADHD.
So basically, if you backtrack, can you get out? Is what you're saying? Like, is there a
so I stopped as soon as I noticed the effect. Yes, can I back up and notice the effect go away?
Yeah. So you start going back, and you turn the corner that you needed to get back to where you went in, and you turn the corner and you're facing Nero, from a bit farther on in the maze.
Does that answer? I'm confused. I'm sorry. I don't understand.
You just looped around to the other side. So you walked behind where Nero was, turned a corner, and have just reappeared over here. Impossibly.
Inside this dimension, inside the pocket dimension.
Yeah.
Or whatever this is. Yes.
Do I notice anything weird looking towards her?
I'll explain. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a good question.
Does she look different?
We're both in this pocket dimension now, right?
Oh, are we? Because I figured you were somewhat ahead of me since I was jumping and shit, so.
Oh, no, you caught up pretty quick.
Okay.
You're plenty
I'm
fast.
fast, so.
So as you entered this, Minnow sends Finch out, and says to you that you should just stop and wait there, and wait until Finch comes back. And you're just sitting with Minnow, waiting for Finch to come back.
Is Minnow looking through Finch's eyes?
It seems like maybe she is, because she's kind of leaned up against you, the way that she normally would.
And just to be, I'm sorry, I'm having a very hard time tracking this. Minnow.
This is not at all what you are experiencing, Minnow.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Okay.
You walked forward, told Nero to stop when you realized you couldn't feel Finch.
Yes.
Something was wrong. You walked around and got teleported back. That is what you have experienced to this point. Cutting at the same point in time, Nero, what you have experienced is you walked in, Minnow sent Finch out, warged into Finch's perception, and is just sort of said, let's just wait, and is just leaned up against you.
Having two totally different experiences.
Yeah. And
I hate this.
when I loop back to Nero, I'm going to start talking to Nero. What happens? I'm going to say oh, I think we're in some sort of weird thing where we're in this trap.
That's not good.
I don't like it. Go away.
Do I notice anything off about Nero at all? I know with my passive perception, I guess, because I wouldn't be looking, but that's 18.
No. Sounds like Nero is acting more or less he seems concerned, but it's not like Nero really rises unless it's something very specific. So it's more like what should we be doing then? How should fire? I can't see magic anymore.
You know
I did
what?
that already.
Yeah, try some fire, Nero. Now is a great time for some fucking fire. I'm so over this.
You're gonna be. Nero's like.
I need to look up at you. That's where you are.
Nero's like, okay. We'll sort of like spread his hands and we'll like just unleash burning hands. And as he does so, the trellis and the vines are now like screeching. And you're seeing sort of a shape forming out of them that's just slamming down around you. Nero, you're sitting.
It would be quiet for a very long time. Like, I feel like I would just be like, all right, just start like quietly meditating, just waiting.
So Nero, you're
right. I'm just doing my my silent symbols.
Except not. You actually just say ting 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 at this point. And you're gonna sort of feel Minnow leaning against you, like stir. Yeah, Finch. Finch is still getting teleported. I guess we should go in further.
Safe, sure.
And you'll see Finch flit back in, sort of resume hovering along with you. And you're walking along, and you notice that you've been walking like straight for a real long time now. And that doesn't make sense to you because you got a pretty good sense of like, what the outside hedge wall looked like, what the grounds should be. It could be big, but it would need to be turning back towards the house. And this seems very strange to you. And as you sort of turn to Minnow, you see Finch is sort of grooming oddly. It's now they're now perched on Minnow's shoulder, and they're gonna sort of look at you, and it's Salate's face on Finch's body.
I don't like it.
That's horrifying.
And she's just gonna go, and then resume grooming like a bird.
Galway. I'm just like Galway's gonna stop. No, Nero is going to just stop dead.
Minnow's like, what's wrong?
Finch had Salate's face. Is Finch a fish person?
No, that's how Finch has always looked.
Has had a human face?
Elf, but yeah.
Listen, I know that I trust you for a lot of things, Minnow, but I'm not stupid. And this feels too far.
It is. Minnow would never.
You've told me before that I'm not stupid, so I know that you wouldn't do this to me. You know how hard that was.
Finch is gonna sort of cock their head at you. Harder than seeing me after you pummeled me?
Oh.
Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh my god.
Ellen and I went the wrong way.
I know everybody else went right, and I was like, we'll be fine alone. Hey, hold on.
I mean, let me don't volunteer to have gone down the right path too quickly.
18.
No, but there's more of us.
18. As Finch Latte says this to you, you just recoil in shame and horror and upset. Like, and you almost feel the retort coming back, like, but I tried to bury you. And as you do, you sort of step backwards and you feel something sharp in your back. And you start and realize that you've backed into the trellis. And there's a bit of a thorn on one of them. And now that you turn back, you see Finch kind of tipped over on one side, still under the arch, with a bird face. And at this point, Minnow hacking with a sword just at the flailing wildly at the archway around you.
I never got to say that I pulled out my sword and did that.
Minnow, you're being pummeled by giant vines that are now on
pulled
fire.
out my sword and hack at it.
I tried to get to the point where it was at least a logical inference as to what you would have done. You are just... the entire maze appears to be coming alive, slamming at you with tendrils. I do feel the need to potentially break immersion to pause. Nero, you see none of this. Minnow is just swinging a blade like a mad woman at jack shit diddly. Finch is just tipped over on the ground,
Nero,
sort of like
watch out, Nero, get that.
and now you hear like, no, Nero, no, get that, get the right. Where is Finch?
Does
and at this point,
Finch have an elf face?
Are you asking that? No, it's a little.
Minnow hear?
No, I'm asking that to Minnow. Nero is asking Minnow.
I don't.
Minnow sees Nero like valiantly punching the hell out of some vines.
Can't hear me at all.
Doesn't seem to be able to.
Right, you can go to
Do I get a wisdom saving throw?
Yes. No, I was gonna say give me a wisdom saving throw.
Of course, 2.
I was gonna say, you called that way before I saw it.
No,
I was like,
no. Sorry, I was saying it's a +2. My other character has like a +10 to a wisdom saving throws. Beautiful.
Go ahead and take 3 psychic damage.
Oof.
You think it's slashing damage, or bludgeoning rather, as the vines hit you, and you're sort of thrown backwards. Nero, what you see is Minnow standing, like wildly slashing, just like straight up pratfalls onto the ground, like throws herself backwards, like basically looking like she is trying to practice doing break falls, because she like break falls and like rolls, gets her blade back up and is like slashing.
Can you hear me?
Ironically, we couldn't hear the first part.
Minnow,
oh no!
So it was just, can you hear me?
Can I have tried to use the wavering menace
the fear effect?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But I have a question about that. Would the fact that the fear effect on it doesn't take on anything, or doesn't seem to like attach in any way, tip me off in some way? I don't know though, because like it's not really. Am I seeing actual creatures, or am I seeing just like plants coming alive?
A little hard to tell. Could be plant creatures. Let's face it. 5e doesn't make it easy for us. There's literally plant type creatures. But go ahead and give me. So what you're trying to, let me just parse this. Yeah. You are trying to use the Wavering Menace's fear effect.
Yes.
To invoke fear, and as a result, figure out that thing isn't a creature, and thus maybe get a tip that isn't real. Correct.
Like that, I think Minnow is genuinely, earnestly using the fear effect.
Yeah.
But in the same way that sometimes like spellcasters can tell like my spell.
Oh, that's an illusion. It bounced.
Right.
Yeah.
It bounced.
Give me a luck die. So just roll a d20 for me. Okay. You successfully actually pull out the Wavering Menace and actually invoke its fear effect. I did have extensive plans based on who potentially went down this list, because I'm like, I kind of don't want to make people blow all their spell slots, but I also kind of want to have random spell effects going off. I was real glad that it was you telling Hallucination Nero to use Burning Hands. It's like, okay, I also don't actually want to kill everyone. Give me another luck die.
Come on, luck. Okay. 11.
Okay. What that did was, as your luck effect went off and you chose not to target Nero, who was in your area, you managed to not actually target Nero with this blast of fear that emanates from you. It doesn't affect any, like, it isn't just that it doesn't affect it or it shook it off. It feels like there was nothing for it to grab onto except for Nero's precious gentle mind that you shielded.
Okay.
Give me another wisdom saving throw with advantage.
And I'm just going to tell you, while she's doing this, what I would be doing would be going up to Minnow and trying to hug her from behind.
So, you're pretty sure that whatever these are, they're not creatures, so that's why it's not procking. It's, it's plant matter that's being manipulated more directly. You do now feel one of the vines has, like, wrapped around you.
I'm definitely gonna hack at it.
Give me an attack roll.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's totally fine. Nero doesn't know.
With the Wavering Menace, one-handed because it's from behind, so it would actually be really hard to do that two-handed.
Unless you're two-handed by, like, stabbing above yourself. And let's not have you brain Nero.
Yeah, 23 hit.
Pretty sure 23 hits.
Jesus Christ.
Oh wait, I wouldn't have had sneak attack. Don't add the sneak attack.
You would not have had sneak attack.
So it's just the 7?
Just the 7.
Okay, so Nero's gonna do a thing. He does not want to hurt Minnow. But he can tell that something is wrong because her bird did just have a person face that talked to him and all these other horrible things. So you know something is up. So I am going to punch at Minnow in the attempt to hit her but not really deal damage and try to stunning strike. Like, I don't want to, like, punch you. Like, I gotta hurt the fuck out of you, but I want to try and stunning strike.
So give me an attack roll to see if you hit. And we're going to treat it as this is beyond the, non-fatal blow. You're doing no damage. 16?
I forgot my armor class. Let me look. 15.
So you hit. You've done no damage.
Okay, so you need to make a Constitution saving throw.
I've never wanted to fail a Constitution saving so badly.
Why do I not have my?
I said it was on advantage, but it's not. But anyway, 17.
I'm pretty sure that passes because I didn't write down my shit, but it's 8 plus proficiency plus wisdom, right?
It would be insane if yours was above 17 at this level.
Right. So it'd be 8 plus 6.
Charities is 19.
Right. I think it's 14.
Minnow, give me another wisdom saving throw with advantage.
Come on.
I'm also actually just going to say for the fact that I don't just get one attack.
You what?
You don't just get one attack.
Attack. I get many, many attacks.
So much damageless bludgeoning.
Yeah, so much damageless bludgeoning. I'm ready to do.
However, beyond applying advantage, I will say that lowered the DC a little bit because you now had the perception of Minnow. You're sort of wrapped up by this plant, like that's what was restraining you clearly, and like Nero was over there wailing on it. But you feel Nero like right next to you, and that seems like wait. That's not a okay. So you are going to snap out of it. I will also say, Nero, regain 4 of those. Sorry, I forgot to interject. I was doing this as anything you did was going to be at half damage because there was the chance of someone being like, guiding bolt, level 3. Like, oh shit.
Right.
Party's all the way on fire. Oh god.
Right.
Yeah, so you now see, you come to holding the wavering menace. Shredded vines are just like all around you. There's like deep gouges cut in the wood of the trellis. Finch is on the ground, and you've spent a lot of time with Finch in bird form, flopping like it does in fish form. So just picture a bird like going
Finch out of existence. Okay?
It's gone.
Poor Finch. Finch was also affected by the. Is that what was happening? Finch was having a phantasmal force on her. Poor Finch. What does Finch see? I don't want to know. Don't tell me.
Finch will never come out to you.
Finch was in the water. Oh my god. I'm just gonna go cry, Galway. Like, you might as well cut to the other party. Like,
well, no. I will say Finch's nightmare was just being a fish again.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's horrible.
It was in the water. It wasn't drowning. It was just.
Yeah, but that means like when I
fish.
turn Finch into a fish, like that's like the worst thing I could do to Finch. Okay, I'm never turning Finch into a fish again. And I look at Nero and I'm just like, oh my god, is this, and like just like shaking hands, like drop the sword and just like shaking hands, like, are you okay? Did I hit you?
You did, but you know I'm stronger than that. I'm gonna ask a question right now, and I need you to answer it truthfully. I'm gonna ask you 2 questions. 1, does Finch have an elf face? And
No.
2, do you think I am stupid?
No. What? Finch is and I bring Finch back.
Finch is like,
Finch is a bird. I'm so sorry.
I just saw Finch have Salate's face, and it talked to me and told me that I bludgeoned it to death.
So Finch has been looking around, like just looking like, what the hell? You say, I just saw Finch with Salate's face. You see Finch go.
Bird surprise.
Yeah, I can definitely tell you that Finch has never had Salates or any elf or other humanoid. I mean, that's very speciesist. Kindred folk. I don't know. What do we call people in this world? People faces.
Gonna offend me. It's fine.
No. Yep. Never a person's face of any kind. Always a bird or a fish or sometimes other random critters, but
are you okay now? You were attacking.
Nope. I'm definitely nope. I want to go home.
Oh. Yeah.
I think we're stuck. I think we're stuck in like, is the like buzzing thing still happening, or is that over too? Or like the other dimensional feel?
That's entirely gone.
Okay.
You are in the gardens. You can see it's a little bit difficult, but you could probably work your way out of the maze. You can see you barely got in.
So like not our way out like towards the house, our way out like back.
Like back. Yeah, you have not gone very far into this. I will say, between your experiences, etc., and what you had sensed, Minnow, you're fairly sure that this was not an extra dimensional space. This was an illusory space. So you were hallucinating. You've probably just been standing here. You're not entirely sure how long.
I'll convey all of that.
Should we try and move forward since we've broken through the illusion, or should we go the other way to find our friend?
I think we should move forward because there's going to be more stuff, and I fish around in my pack for some rope and I tie it around my wrist, and then I hold out another end of it, like maybe 10 feet of slack between us, to Nero and say, just in case we need to be able to find each other again.
Do you want me to tie this too?
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes, okay, you remember You said you wanted an honest answer, and you asked, "Do I think you're stupid?" No, but sometimes you do things that are so dense, Nero, and I love you, but
But I
you
could
know,
have just held it.
I guess so. But then if you drop it because you're frightened by, let's say Finch with a salate face, which I wouldn't blame you. That sounds fucking awful. But if you dropped it, this way we won't have to worry about that. Also, I promise I don't think you're stupid. Just
You
sometimes
just see
we all
Nero's
do-
eyes well up a little bit. Fine. I appreciate the honesty.
I'm not at my best right now. I've just been hacking. I'm sorry.
I
Okay,
was just gonna suggest also maybe having a code word.
great. Let's do that. I think that illusions kind of do psychic things though, which means that it might know the code word anyway. But what do you have one that you think we should use?
Friendship.
So she starts making a noose. Out of breath.
Jesus, and I thought I was gonna do psychic damage.
Nero pushing all of Minna's buttons.
Everybody's just had a real rough day.
Rough day.
Yeah, okay, so Nero will tie it to his wrist, I guess? Yeah.
In some cultures, we're married now.
You didn't jump a broom. You're not married yet.
I'm also
Well, they did
incidentally
officially tie the knot.
I'm also just picturing poor Minnow as like some other illusion takes hold and Nero begins moving his full speed. It's like
Which is 55 alone.
and you can double dash.
I sure can.
There's just gonna be like a Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner like smoke cloud of where the two of you were.
We'll just break through the hedges that way. It'll be fine.
In the breeze.
All right. So you're
I'll
gonna
cast
continue.
Featherfall and just.
Boom. Boom.
Yeah.
All right. So if you're gonna continue on into the maze, let's pivot to the other away team.
They just walk through the garden and they're like, hey, we're at the house. This is so easy.
What's up, Lachlan? How's it going? Oh, we have a map. Yay.
Yes, we do.
So I think I got you all to the map. Yes. Okay. And these are the
Beautiful.
right characters.
Well,
So
I'm
you
trying to
see-
I don't
where are our
see.
tokens?
Are they on the GM layer?
No, we're down at the bottom. Pan out if you need to.
Oh, on the bottom left.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
it zoomed in at a slightly odd place on the map when I changed it. Apparently, you all. Don't worry, there's something for everybody. You all find yourselves in a very attractive garden. You kind of went through a trellis that had grapes growing on it, which is not depicted here because Dungeon Draft doesn't have anything that nicely simulates grapes growing on a trellis. And I'd already written that in the description, then was like, fuck it, I'm keeping it, but we're moving along. So you can see flowers are growing off to your side in sort of planter boxes. There's a pond with a statue in it. You can see fields, small sort of garden plot type fields. There's a couple of buildings and then several sort of orchard trees and a large just sort of shade tree. And it's just a very well organized, obviously very carefully tended production garden.
Well, I will call out to see if I'll call out to Lachlan. And
Yeah, and you can see the house is kind of off the north edge of this, which is about
Okay.
120. So you're calling Lachlan. There's
yeah, Lachlan, we're friends. We have a package from Liba. We brought.
yeah, no response from the house.
Okay. I would,
So-
I guess. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, on our way here, I had a question I wanted to ask Caressa.
Oh, sure.
So, Reza, you said that you didn't feel Bion's presence in that big storm that happened.
Right. I mean, there's a certain way I feel his presence when I cast my magic, because it's divine magic. It comes from him, and I didn't feel that sense of him in the storm.
Have you always had this connection with Bion?
When I started my training as a cleric, yeah.
And even before your cleric training?
I think I probably would have. Do you think?
Certainly
Which is-
I would say that whether you did or didn't is entirely up to you. It could have been one of the things that motivated you to study and train that way, but it doesn't have to have been.
Well, that's kind of what I was thinking. I did kind of always have this connection, and when I started training as a cleric, that's when I started understanding what this feeling was, that connection was.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I've interfaced with a lot of religious people, but I've never really, I don't really remember much else before joining you guys, and I don't really have much of a background in religious stuff or anything quite like that. I know that I have a creator. Does that make that person my god?
If you're talking about the creator of your being, maybe, but the creator of your body, your armor, no, I don't think that person would be your god. There are many different gods.
Interesting. Yeah, and if Ketch at all is listening into the conversation, I would ask Ketch, do you have any religious tendencies, or is that mostly a Ressa thing?
I mean, Mom and Pop kinda have I don't really know, spirituality, I guess, but it's never really been my thing.
Yeah, I just haven't really thought about it recently, and until recently, and landing here, and so many people are followers of Bion, and I don't know.
You could always reach out and talk to Bion. Doesn't necessarily make you, a worshiper or quote unquote religious. Just
Yeah, I don't. Why don't we figure out this Lachlan situation, and then we can talk about Bion stuff? Because I have questions, but also I don't want us to get too sidetracked in this moment. But
I would be happy to. Absolutely.
Cat butt.
I know it'd be a really nice moment, but he just chose to plant his back feet directly on my tits and is kneading the blanket in my lap and just slowly pushing his butthole into my face. And I'm just like,
Gosh, Rachel, I'm so very glad you gave that description for the podcast.
you're welcome. I just was
It
like,
was just watching Rachel's help facial expression, watching Chris trying not to die, and everyone else just like trucking through the scene. And then I'm like, good.
No,
This is
looking.
I just was like, this is a
his
nice
butt
moment.
was here. So like he was here and she was here and it looked like she was sticking her nose in his butt with the
Anywho,
I had this weird position that it was just perfectly nose placed. I'm sorry.
Oh man.
PG content you come to see.
It sure is. Everybody loves a good cat anus. His purrs aren't loud like Heather's cat. They don't get caught on the microphone.
All right, so what would you like to do? So like I said, the house is sort of to the north on this end. It's to the north and a little bit back.
Seeing the house, I would probably try to take the most direct path. So
Just
you know,
sort of
coming
up and then along that first turning.
yeah, like
I see that Dent has just warped over to the
To the
fishing
pond.
pond.
on.
Are there
Of course.
any like woodland creatures? Any squirrels? Any birds?
Give me a perception check.
Snow White up in here.
22. You're looking along. There are some birds. You're specifically like looking around to try to see if there's any squirrels or anything. And it takes you a moment, but you very much have the sense that you are being watched. And you're pretty sure that you saw one of these like cabbages off to the side or rustle slightly.
Not my cabbages.
My cabbages.
So many Avatar references in this game.
So I'll kind of like look back at Dylan, be like, did you see that cabbage move?
No, I was more looking at Dent marching through the flowers towards the pond.
Oh, he'll be fine. Come on, let's go check out these cabbages.
Okay.
I really like that Ketch has just been like, all right, Dylan, you're with me.
Here with me. Come on now.
Yeah, so you go this way. There's an opening. There's a small fence around this plot, and you get into the opening up here. Yeah, there's a bunch of cabbages. You can see that the sort of rough rows that they're planted in are... Cass just sitting there kneading, making like direct eye contact with the camera, just like, what's up?
He's so sweet.
There are several like missing. Now that could be they were just harvested. Could be the rows were planted very badly. But...
Are there any tracks? Animal tracks, human tracks, people tracks?
Give me a survival check.
Like,
Ice cream.
9. It's a little bit hard to tell because this is kind of like loose planting dirt. You do see some marks, but they mostly look like human or elf or something like that footprints, and they're sort of walking along the rows. So if you had to guess, it'd probably be Lachlan tending the garden. We can't hear you.
I so badly want to push Dylan like into the cabbages, but I'm afraid he'll get killed. So
He's very weak. Oh, that is true. He is paying us.
He's also very flimsy, fragile. I will step closer to the cabbages where I saw the movement.
That's kind of this set down here. Incidentally, I'm timing this out so that this is kind of accounting for the movement of Dent to the water and Ressa going along the path.
And then I will just look at the cabbages and see if I can see what moved or how they look.
21. So yeah, you're looking at the cabbages. They're quite nice. You know, they do seem like this is just sort of where Lachlan must grow his food, and you're kind of looking from one to the other, and are mildly surprised when this one on the end looks back at you.
Nice.
And you see sort of hidden underneath a cabbage leaf, like a tiny plant person. And they're gonna look at you and see. And you
Roll
all
initiative.
hear more rustling now.
I'm going to.
They're not
Hunker
like the
down?
mandrake roots. Like their screams don't
Right.
kill us, right?
Correct. This is just a little creature screaming.
Okay.
I want to kind of like hunker down, maybe like take a knee, and just kind of like look at him, like, it's okay, it's okay. We have a package for Lachlan. Do you know him? And then I would be like, Dylan, do you speak cabbage?
And she's actually gonna think for a second. Give me a persuasion or performance roll, your choice.
Go first.
It's sort of huddling down. But did you say
No,
you, or you know, because Ressa has the package, but you referenced a package.
Yes.
Dylan behind you, you're going to hear the sort of muttering of a spell, and he's going to go, they think we're intruders, and there's more of them. I can't really talk to them, but I can understand what they're saying. They keep saying, "Wake the big one."
Okay. With that, I will stand back up, but I will put my hands up. And I'll be like, Dylan, just...
Oh God, one's behind me. Okay,
just-
hands up. Hello, everyone else. There's a vegetable problem. Can't hear you, Heather.
Heather, we can't hear you.
So you're calling this out to Dent and Ressa?
Yes, and now at this, Dent, you had managed to potentially cast for a fish if you wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, I have to score better than the last one. So
Unless the big one lives in the water.
oof. All right, so we're rolling dexterity with my proficiency bonus of 3. All right, so it's 16.
16, you hook a fish. This does seem like it is a stocked pond.
Okay, and I have to roll strength to draw it in.
Not for a fish this size.
Okay.
That's more if you're like fishing probably out at the coast or something. Ressa, I will say, as you hear these shouts sort of now coming in, Ressa, you're going to turn. You see parts of the cabbage patch advancing on Ketch and Dylan. Give me a quick insight check. They've clearly not been hurt yet, but and Dent, having now landed this fish, you do hear the shouts as you sort of turn around holding the fish.
I tuck it in and I jollily saunter over here. I don't know, those weird
Okay, so
sentences.
17.
17. You don't feel like they're necessarily hostile. They seem suspicious.
Don't attack. Do not attack.
Our hands up.
Okay.
Like, I tried to talk.
Yeah.
I don't
I'll hold
apparently
out the
speak
package and like hold out the package where they could potentially see it.
So you're
and
sort of
maybe
like holding
be-
it down
That-
to them.
that-
That's what-
Yeah.
That's the package that I told you about. As I still keep my hands up.
And I'll even set it down and just, stand there.
Dylan, what are they
you hear
saying?
them talking, and it sounds like leaves rustling almost. And Del's like, they know who the package is from. They seem pleased that we have it.
Good.
I will, we are bringing this to, he's gonna sort of point at the house and say, we want to help. 15. That seems like that they, like, the package having been produced, and they very clearly recognized it. They're sort of like, they're still debating waking the big one. I'm not comfortable with whatever the big one is, but they seem happy-ish about the package.
That's good.
Maybe
Thanks.
one of us should. Maybe I should take the package and, like, while I'm watching, like, show them that I'm walking it to the house, and you guys can stay here and show that you're not hostile.
Sure. Give me, again, a persuasion or a performance. Your choice.
Okay. Oh. Let's see. Persuasion, it's got to be. And.
You're giving yourself guidance. Yes.
19.
Yeah.
That seems like it got across. They'll sort of like. And most of them are going to sort of draw back, though you're going to see they will move towards this end, and they're going to sort of shoo the others. Like,
Cool.
I am so glad I resisted just like biting into them.
on top of it, you also noticed them in the first place.
Guys, I don't know if this is the right time to bring it up, but I got a fish.
Should you throw it back? I don't know if we want to be fishing out of his pond. Or maybe we should give
I want
it to
to pull
him.
a catch and release here, Dad. Sorry. But it's a good catch.
It is a good catch.
Okay. All right. And I let the still live fish back into the pond.
Yeah. We'll make sure we get you fishing where you can keep all the fish. Really big fish. Yep, I'll just progress toward the house slowly-ish so that...
As you get here, you have the extremely disquieting sensation as the wind stirs the branches, that the entire tree turns to sort of look at you.
I'll hold
I
up
think
the
that's
package.
the big
The
one.
big one, yeah.
I'll hold the package. I'll stop and...
And it just sort of turns back to its original stance.
Woo! Phew. And I'll continue slowly along.
Okay. You get up and you're going along this way. And with Nope, with that, I needed to copy those tokens because I haven't made them the default. Well, with this, you find yourselves walking out a path towards the front of the house, and you see across the far end of the yard, Minnow and Nero tied together with a rope, walking towards you all, just looking really fucking freaked out. Just like...
And that's gonna be like, the code word is friendship. Like, hold out one end of the rope to whoever's in the front.
Okay, are you guys okay? What
Are you okay? Wait.
Yeah.
And I look at Nero and I'm like, do we even know that's Ressa? Tell us
Guys.
something only Ressa would know.
We made some cute cabbage friends.
And a big tree.
They have
climb.
Dylan can
face-
talk
They're
to
not the
cabbages.
Cabbage
They're
Patch
hallucinating.
Kids.
They're hallucinating too, Nero.
did-
Did you hear that?
Did Minnow? Did the cabbages have Salate's face?
Oh,
Did they have Salate's face?
They had cabbage faces.
Cabbages don't
normally have faces.
Dent, but I should. I hit him. No.
no.
I pulled the Wavering Menace out.
No. They were guardians, and we showed them the package. They allowed us, we said we were peaceful, we were friends. They seemed to recognize that we were bringing this package, and
We had to
allowed us
interact with
to.
fake versions of each other. We're a little bit
dear.
unsure of you.
Yes,
If
you
you
guys
could
chose the
just
wrong
all
path.
convince us of your reality.
I cast
Okay, all right. Well,
Oh,
to,
sorry.
Catch and say, because it's in the heads, right? So like it would land on Catch if Catch were an illusion. And I say like, can you hear me?
Wait, you did what?
I cast
Message.
to you.
Have we done this before?
Or are
Yeah,
you,
we've used message as a
Yeah, we
cantrip,
or are
right?
you having just been told that people have been hallucinating hearing Minnow's voice
Can you
in
hear
your
me?
head?
Can you hear me? Just like no, this is like Minnow just needing to confirm that this spell can land on Catch.
Okay, exactly. How did you say it, and what did you say?
I said, can you hear me? And I said it.
Is it
probably sounded.
menacing? I mean, like, are you being?
I mean, I'm holding the Wavering Menace and screaming at you guys about being imposters.
Okay.
So I would say that it sounds a little crazed, but that's like on level with the
Defo
rest
feels
of Minnow
on
right
edge.
now.
This is not
Yeah.
Minnow's calm voice in your head.
So I don't think Catch ever put his hands down. So I will come down like this and be like, Minnow, why are you in my head?
Okay. Minnow like relaxes a little bit and like puts the Wavering Menace away. Okay.
We
I
made a
don't know
code
about you
word.
guys, but I'm confident that we're all okay.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's
I
him.
did just take psychic damage, but that's normal. So okay.
Yeah.
I'm feeling more
Um,
convinced.
Great.
We made a
Great job on the
code
pun, buddy.
word. It's friendship. So just if anybody seems weird, just ask them for the code word.
Okay.
So should we ask Lachlan for the code word?
He
Well,
doesn't
He's
know
in
it.
Friendship.
It's just us, the 5 of us, and Dylan.
That's it.
Don't. Aw.
And Dylan. Oh.
Yeah. Friendship is the code word. It's the 5 of us and Dylan.
I'm included. Kind
Dylan's
of.
not real pleased with me. I almost got him eaten by cabbages. So
But again, the cabbages
oh.
didn't have Solate's face on them.
They did not.
And
have
neither did the
Finch's face.
tree.
I saw Finch with Solate's face on it.
Oh, that's horrifying.
It was.
Why did you do that, Minnow?
Minnow just starts crying.
Oh no!
Dylan is gonna sort of like just like be wide-eyed absorbing all of this and turn to Catch and be like, I'm so glad you said to go right.
oh,
Albeit almost getting murdered by cabbages and trees.
oh, you didn't almost get murdered by a cabbage. I had it under control.
There was one of them behind me.
It's a cabbage. It was like this big. You gonna do bite at your ankle? You were fine. Now come on, let's go check out this house.
I think by the time it's walking, it's fine. As you say this, you hear a thum, thum, and it sounds like something slamming against a door.
The Wavering Menace is out again.
Is it coming from the house?
Yes.
Tell
Yes,
that?
and it seems like it is coming from inside the house.
Inside
the thump
the
is
house?
coming from inside the house.
I'll take a quick
How
look.
far
Did we
away
like?
from the house are we now?
Oh, you're.
Like right there?
Ha 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 ha. Sorry.
It's okay.
The
Y'all
house.
are right there. I forgot because I had to keep copying over your tokens.
Okay, so then because this worked in the Cabbage Patch, I'm gonna throw my hands up in the air.
I'll hold up the
Lachlan,
package.
the cabbages said it was okay.
We're bringing you a package.
Minnow is
from
like
Leva.
pinching herself because this just seems like it's still a hallucination.
There's no response, but just again you hear like, ka-thum, ka-thum. And you're beginning to hear a little bit of a sound of like wood cracking.
Oh no.
Dylan, go open the door.
And it's clearly coming from the house, not like from the big tree that turns.
Yes, no. This is not like the tree has like been like, you know what? No, you weren't on the list.
This is the front door?
Yes.
I'll have my mage hand try to open the door.
The door opens.
Oh.
Does the door open in or out?
In.
Lachlan.
I'll have my mage hand grab that rug.
Okay.
Does
Open?
anything happen?
Very young and full of vitality,
I have
Lachlan.
the mage hand. Can the mage hand pull the rug?
Sure.
Okay,
Did
just
your
pull
mage
it to
hand
the
get through
side.
the door? Or did I miss the...
The door got
The door.
open. The
door is
mage hand
open.
just opened the door. The door did not appear to be
Sorry, I
locked,
missed it.
latched,
Okay,
or trapped.
Yeah. It's gonna tug the rug to the side. Can I
Yep.
see anything under the rug?
Wood floor.
Just in case, don't step on that rug.
Okay. Lachlan. We have a package from Leva.
You're a dwarf. You can shout pretty loud. Assuming you're just bellowing this into the house, you're going to hear from inside. Could you help with that?
Yes, is it inside?
Yes.
Okay. Go in and I'll step in and see if I can find where the noise is
The
coming.
cabbage
You're not on the. You specifically told people not to be on the rug. The rug is like 5 feet over. It's on this side.
Yes, cool.
The noise sounds like it's coming from deeper into the house somewhere.
Warhammer it out.
Okay. As you get there, you see a pair of creatures with mandibles open, turn.
They get through the trap.
This is a pair of Fishgicians, or those wondering, just because I know that a lot of the fish tokens look pretty similar.
Magicians.
And where they've been like hammering on this door that they are standing in front of, you can see wood has partially splintered. Does not look like anything good has been happening there. They are going to turn at you and sort of hiss. And yes, let's roll initiative.
Yay!
Yay!
Just a second, let me clear this out.
Yeah. And click on your token.
Click your token, click initiative.
Hey, nat 20 initiative.
Dang! You got a surprise round.
Two.
So many key points. for
I
me
didn't
to-
totally suck at initiative this time.
Who don't I have? I have
Dylan.
Ressa.
No, I'm up there. 16.
No, on the count.
Oh,
Lena suggests that you move the view of the
I clicked
map a little to the right, or what, or so that the stream can see the players.
Okay, now wait. I clicked my token and then rolled initiative. So let me try it again.
Well, Galway can always add you in too. Oh yeah, if you click it and do it, and then he can change it.
I'm having trouble getting back to my token. Okay. Token is clicked. Initiative clicked. I don't know why that doesn't.
Yeah, it really doesn't seem to like yours.
Yeah, I don't know why. Okay, I'm on there. Giddy.
Does Finch have a turn? Is Finch out, or is Finch still pocket dimension?
I don't know, actually.
Last,
I think Finch is still pocket dimensioned.
Okay.
I mean, that's probably the nicest thing to do to Finch.
I might get Finch out on my first turn, but I think it would have to be
so
up on my
Nero,
turn.
you go first, and you have a surprise round functionally.
So definitely just gonna rush in, which I measured, and it was about 35 feet to go to this doorway here, and then through this here.
Mhm.
Like I measured here and then from here, so I didn't just do straight. As
Yeah,
the
no,
crow
no, no.
flies.
I had seen that. You should be
Okay. So that's 35 feet. And so I am going to attack. I guess I'll just attack this one first
Okay.
with a quarterstaff.
20 hits.
20. 5 bludgeoning damage. And then I'm just gonna do my regular extra attack and punch it. 18.
Hits.
Another 5 bludgeoning damage.
You are consistently hitting the 5 bludgeoning.
And then I will do the exact same thing for my second turn.
Okay.
So quarterstaff and then attack. So on the same one, 15, does it 15 hit?
Let me double check. Yes. Yes, it does.
Yeah. 7 bludgeoning damage. And then I'm going to punch this one because my special feature only lets me get away without attacks of opportunity if I've tried to make an attack on them. So attacking both of them. Let me pull that up. Punch. 9. I'm assuming does not hit. But I don't need to have successfully hit in order to be able to disengage from them.
Correct.
So I will move straight, like back and this way, kind of.
Cool. Yep.
Out of the way. Yeah.
So Ressa, you basically turn to the corner like, ah, with a battle axe, and then just behind you, you hear, pardon me. It's like just see Nero proceed to bludgeon the ever-loving bejesus out of one of them, kind of just be like, at the other, and then run away.
Nice.
Oh, shit.
Right.
Okay, we done now. It's okay.
I just really love that Nero just like bludgeons like horribly, and then it's just like, bye.
You literally punch things and then run away.
Yep.
It's awesome.
I have been one shot killed before, so I'm just
Understandable. I will run up and hit the one that he just hit with my 2 hands warhammer.
Do you want to position like that side?
Um,
Because you were going for the one that like Nero had actually hit.
yes.
Cool. That is a critical success.
nice.
Go ahead and roll damage, and then still need to figure out how to do that. Take the base die and roll as. Oh, I think you rolled one of yours as max. Yeah, you did. Cool. So that's. Oh, but it was 2-handed.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so you did 14 damage.
Yay.
14. I didn't fix this, and I was supposed to. 17 damage.
Awesome.
It's not doing the ability mod or the +1.
Okay.
So you charged in, you smash into this thing, and you almost knock it back into its friend a little bit.
Nice.
So it looks like they're sort of stunned and tangled together.
Cool.
It doubled because it was a crit, or is that a separate thing?
Technically, it is doing that. That's why there's the 2 dice rolling together,
Oh,
but
okay,
it's just not applying any of the bonuses. And so what I'm doing is I'm taking the first die, treating it as max. Second die is what it rolls for the crit bonus, and then mentally doing the math.
Okay. So then I'm not going to back off. I'm just going to stay there, and that's my turn. Let's go.
I would say, Catch, that you were inside the house by the time this happened.
Yeah, I'd have told Dylan to kind of like stay back.
Yep.
And then I've gone in.
Yep, so your turn.
Okay, so what all can I see from where I'm at?
You can see a lot of commotion like through this doorway, and you can hear the sounds of battle sort of through this doorway and a little further in.
Okay. The room that we're in, there's another room. Is this an open door? Like over here to the left?
The door to the left is open, and it looks
Okay.
like it's just sort of a library or study. Like the walls are lined with bookcases.
Okay. And can I see here from where I'm at? Like through the room that
The
they're
back corner, that door is smashed open.
in? Okay. And so right now I cannot see what they are attacking.
Correct.
Okay.
And I don't think anyone has shouted Fishgician
Right.
or more salate.
Oh, I probably would have, but
I guess I'll just walk in. Here's about 15 right there. Look and assess the situation.
You can see a pair of Fishgicians. The one that's directly in line with you definitely looks like it has been beaten all to hell by bludgeoning damage. It is bloodied. The one that you can kind of see a little bit through the doorway as well, you can see it clearly. You would be able to target it just fine. Does not appear to have been hurt.
So I would like. I want to do the one that does not appear to have been injured at all. I want to hit that one with my crossbow.
And sorry, you said the one who had already been hurt?
No, the one that had not been hurt yet.
14 hits.
Okay.
Nice. 7 damage. Cannot hear what you're saying.
It was kind of mumbled, so
Okay.
that makes sense. I have a second attack. Yes. Correct? Yeah?
Yes. Do you want to be using a longbow in order to get that? Because crossbows have the reloading property, which means they're not fun for multi-attack.
Okay. Well, then... Oh, well, hold on. What did I do here? Okay, so can I use then just, well, if I could click the right thing, that to distract the, I have to use this on the one that I hit, or can it be for either of them?
Has to be on the one you hit.
Okay. Then I still will use that. Let me get rid of the superiority die. So that means
D8s?
Yes, it's a D8.
So go ahead and roll.
I said last time it was D4, and Rachel quickly fixed that.
It's like, no, hurt them more.
Yes, more. that it matters. It's only a 1.
An extra 1 damage.
Yes.
But then attacks against this one will have advantage. Attacks by someone else.
Yes. And then I kind of want to move back.
Cool.
And that's my turn.
Dent.
As a free action, can I ask Minnow, who's right next to me, if she would like to get sneak attack damage in?
Always. Yeah. Anything that I have advantage against, I get it. So, or if I have someone engaged. So the one that Ressa's engaged with, I would have it, or the one that has advantage from distracting strike, I think I would get it either way.
Well, I'm going to move up here, and I'm going to cast lightning lure on that one. So it has to make a Constitution saving throw. It has to beat beat or meet a 13 to win.
7 doesn't do either of the things that you just specified.
Great. So it gets pulled 15 feet towards me, which just so happens to be directly in front of me.
Okay.
And it also takes it takes 1d8 lightning damage. So I'm going to go ahead and roll that for you. Did it do it? Yeah, it did. 8. So it takes 8 lightning damage. And I recoil my rod, and I'm going to go ahead and use my action surge to give me another round of attacking. And suddenly in my hand appears a massive black greatsword. And I'm going to go ahead and give it a good 1-2 with that.
You have advantage on the first swing.
Delightful. So I click that.
23 sure hits.
And then I click this.
You guys have a lot of abilities, but
I get to re-roll that one. Because I have great weapon fighting. When I roll a 1 or a 2,
roll a d6.
6. So that would be 9 total damage.
It would just add 5 to your existing one, so it would go to 13.
Okay. And then
checks out, right? At least you made a face. I was like,
I was like, why would you only get 1 more damage than before?
Sorry. And then guess what? We're gonna extra attack.
Not with advantage this time, but
not with advantage. And how's my buddy looking?
Pissed that it just got fished over by lightning?
It sure did. So but it wasn't pissed that it took the great sword. All right, what's gonna have to take the great sword?
It's angry at that too.
One that
It's
I put
angry
the
at a lot of
distracting
things.
strike
Okay. Does a 15
Did he pull
hit?
the one that I did the distracting strike on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
15 hits.
Awesome. And I get to reroll that one. So 6 plus 3, 9.
13. Again.
Wait, I'm so confused. What?
Because you get your modifier as well.
Oh, I keep not including the modifier, and I'm
so
just
basically
looking
what
at
I'm
the
doing
dice
is because I
total.
can see the 2 dice that you rolled to get 11. Oh, you rolled 2 higher than that. So I'm just adding the difference onto the existing one. Which will really screw me over at some point, or potentially you over, if Roll20 does that thing where the dice values that show up on the 3D dice aren't the ones the system procs, which happens sometimes. And then we'll just be like, wait, Wait. How did what?
That's my normal thought most of the time.
Just all the time. That's just
Yeah.
constantly going through my brain.
Anything else?
No, I think I'm all set. Would from this positioning, Minnow would still be able to get a sneak attack because
Yes.
that
fully
was
blocking the door, aren't you? Though.
like
She can strike in through the sides.
Okay.
So basically, she can either melee or ranged attack it, depending on what Minnow wants to do.
Will I be able to as well with him standing there?
You could occupy the other side spot to do that.
So I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
No.
No. I was just like, occupancy for attacking through the door is 3, but
Okay.
yeah,
But
because
Ketch doesn't give a shit.
alternatively, then I would say like, alternatively, then I would say that like if it's easier, I could be here and pull him right into the.
But lightning lure will require him to move directly, so he would end up slotted down there. Lightning
Okay.
lure is
Stay
like
where
a
you are,
direct
it's fine.
pull to you, so you're fine where you are. Honestly, you're also preventing that thing from going and wreaking havoc. It also looks like it's in a lot of pain. All right. Ressa, the one that you are 1v1ing, is going to attack you by doing. Well, first it's going to try to bite you. I think a 23 hits.
Probably, yeah.
So 5 piercing. It's just going to sort of like respond to having been hit by the hammer and like bite in at your arm. I don't think a 13 or a 16 hit you.
Nope, either one.
So then it's going to sort of rake its claws against your armor as it's hissing at you futilely. Dent, you see the one in front of you sort of rear back, and for a moment you think it's going to bite at you, and then suddenly all of its mandibles sort of explode open, and you hear a horrifying noise just fill the space. I need everybody to make a wisdom saving throw.
Minnow didn't want to turn. It's okay. I know it's not. I'm next in initiative. I'm just already mourning how bad this wisdom save.
Because wisdom throws have not been going great for you.
Oh.
You jinxed it. That's your fault.
I gave you inspiration
What are you
last time.
doing? What are you doing?
I will take that 15 with both hands.
Okay, so also, Elise, I can't hear you.
Sorry. I don't want to be scared of Fishgicians for the rest of my life, so I will use the inspiration.
Especially because that was a fumble.
Yeah,
Like,
I just like never recovered
You have
from
trauma now.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's a 7.
But it's not a fumble. Also, I don't
It's not
remember,
a fumble.
Ketch, do you have inspiration? And if so, did you want to use it?
I was not given inspiration from last one, so no, I don't have any.
Okay.
Would you like to use mine? Because I saw that you have a 5.
I do have a 5.
Yeah, use mine.
Okay.
People shared with me last time, so I will share mine this time.
Oh, much
Hey.
better.
15.
Thank you.
He's like 15 still doesn't pass. Fuck you.
Right?
I'm so sorry, Elise.
So you had a bad day.
Does anyone else have an inspiration that they like to throw?
I don't.
No,
That was my only
fine.
one.
This is what fate dictates.
Okay. Well, you did avoid the fumble, which actually pretty legitimately was probably just going to be like a terrified reaction upon seeing one of these things. But you are stunned through the end of its next turn.
Yeah, so Minnow's just gonna sit down because there's no point.
And yes, it is your turn. You'll just sort of like slump to the ground. Nero, save them.
Okay. Nero's gonna run up and quarterstaff a bitch.
Yeah, give me a quarterstaff. That make me the scenario. 16 hits.
Proxy bitch.
Go away.
but
These aren't
still.
the kinds of questions you should be asking right now.
5 bludgeoning.
Okay. Still up, though it looks very hurt.
Very, very hurt.
I don't know how to go into this. It is not
I
feeling
know.
good.
I'm wondering if I should spend a key point to hit it 2 more times or just hit it 1 more time.
I believe Flurry of Blows gives you 2 more attacks that you can use, and you can divide them between people. So
Okay.
if you punched him and he keeled over, you could just keep going.
Fair. Okay. That's fair. Okay. I will spend a key point to Flurry of Blows.
Also, don't you still have extra attack before you even Flurry of Blows?
I do, but it's
true.
isn't it a bonus action or no?
No, extra
No,
attack is
it's
just
not.
part of the attack.
Fuck it. I'm extra attacking then. Yeah, that's stupid, Rachel. I rolled an 11,
Which hits.
so that didn't hit. It does?
These things have a lot of features. AC ain't one of them.
Fuck you. 5 bludgeoning.
Last legs.
Okay, I'm gonna Flurry of Blows.
Okay. 10
10?
misses.
Fuck.
Congratulations, you found its AC.
Eh.
Sure as hell hits.
9 bludgeoning damage.
So you charge in, you like quarterstaff, you almost stab with the quarterstaff to like get, cut through the angles, and then
Sorry, Dent.
as you do, you sort of like pivot and bring your leg up and over in an axe kick through it. You bring it down on the thing's face as it's still screaming. You'll see it sort of wobble and the mandibles like flap into place. And then there's
I turn my face away and I don't look at if a face shows up.
Okay.
I straight up like kick it in the face and then I just look.
You
to
just
the
keep
other one.
spinning using the momentum. They're like, nope,
I
this
just,
way.
like,
As you
Don't
leap
want to
over
know.
Dent, he like free willy raises his hand.
This one is now.
So majestic. Yeah, I fully turn
I
my
could tell
face.
the rest of us. Does it have a human's face?
Oh yeah, you can tell them.
As-
I just began.
As it crashes down, the mandibles sort of fold back into place, and in front of you, Dent, there's now a dwarvish man with like a long beard who tips over backwards.
Bummer.
Does it look like the boats
Oofta.
person or the fishmonger?
It does not look like
Arlene.
anyone you've seen.
Okay. And then can I move through? I can move through Dent. Can I move through dead body?
Yes.
Okay. Then I think that I would just come over here and kind of be in the corner to be nearby.
Point of order.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Are you trying to move through the dead body while not looking at the dead bodies?
Very much so.
You are looking up at the ceiling the whole
I'm
time.
looking at the other fish guy and I'm just like trying to step over the body, being like, excuse me, Dent, sorry, just need to walk through here.
Give me a dexterity check.
Uh-huh. I'm good at question mark?
I'm just like, wait. Are you also
Oh God!
Well, it's not the fumble, but it is a 6.
Face plant.
Don't look at the face. Shit.
So
Face.
How do you see the face? Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna give you your choice for this. Do you want to see the face, or do you want to have something mechanically worse happen to you?
Mechanically worse.
Okay. As you're stepping in,
Nero
your
would do
legs get
whatever he could to not look at the
as
face.
you get your
Like,
legs tangled, and you feel yourself falling, and you know that you know how to catch your balance. You can recover this, but it's going to basically, you're going to brace and look straight down. You instead just jump sideways and ram yourself sort of into the side of this staircase, and you're just flat on the ground. Like, oh God.
I accept that. This turn, can I use half my movement to get up, or am I just fucked for this turn? If your choice is I'm fucked, I'm also fine
I'm just
with
going to say
but-
that you managed to see not a single bit of that
Nice.
person
Okay.
at all. You don't even know what part of it you stepped on. You don't know how big it is. You're just like, oh shit, no, don't want. I'm afraid.
Over here.
Yeah, like basically you felt your foot slip, and instead of catching yourself at all, you just went like dive this way, lateral movement, all of it. Yeah, no, but you did not see the body at all. Ressa.
Okay, quick question. I was just looking at my sheet and I've got one-handed warhammer, two-handed warhammer, and enhanced. Two-handed warhammer is +4 to hit, 1d10 +1 bludgeoning. Enhanced warhammer is +5 to hit, but 1d8 +1. Is that supposed to be a 1d10 plus?
It's I put it in strangely. It also has the 1d10 version. That's why it rolls 2 sets of dice. But it would be. You can also, frankly, just roll your normal one, your like two-handed warhammer, and we just add 1 to the attack roll and 1 to the damage. That might be the fastest for now.
Okay.
It'll have less math. So. But +1 ain't gonna save you there.
No, it's not. So I'm distracted by the
You're
fall.
distracted by behind you. You just hear, oh god, no.
Yeah.
You just hear like boom, boom, boom. No crash.
I like to picture the no actually extends all the way through the jump and the fall, so it just kind of like gets a vague Doppler effect. No.
I'm all right.
That was my hit. That's all I finished doing.
Can I fire a bolt through there, or do I need to get past
No,
that?
you can. I'm gonna say I know what happens if you fumble.
Oh,
Dent's
no.
made out of metal, so
Sure is.
But I'm not.
Well, no,
could
don't worry.
ricochet
Don't
and
worry.
hit
It's gonna hit
no.
Dent way before you.
True.
I will say, if you use your longbow, you can use attack and extra attack.
Okay.
Versus the crossbow, which will only get 1 attack because reloading is a weird thing
Yeah.
that is not really properly defined anywhere and gets mechanically
I
weird.
mean, like, in reality, using a longbow in a domicile is not the wisest. So that's why I went for the crossbow. So, but then I still have to try and not hit Dent.
I mean, you could also just close with the thing and try to carve it.
Very true. People in that room. Before I decide exactly how I'm going to do this, do I hear any other fish people?
There is no other crashing or banging or anywhere.
Okay. All right. So then, yeah, I will go in and try and hack it.
Hack it.
That way I don't shoot Dent. Ooh, I am actually going to do two-handed just in case.
So you'll get 3 attacks total. 2 with your main hand, and then 1 with your off. 19 sure as hell hits.
Cool.
Can
6 damage.
Nice.
I didn't kill
Jen
him.
would like to suggest non-lethal damage.
Did
What's
not kill.
that?
Still up.
I go right, then left, then right, right?
Sure. Technically, you can put them in any order that you want to. Oh. 9 does not hit.
Brutal.
22. Yes, 22 hits.
My left hand was.
I like
just a
how
little
this is just
wobbly.
like dice show and tell now.
They've earned their spot back in my life.
3. Nothing.
Definitely not dead.
Definitely not dead. Okay. Let's see. Oh, damn it! I keep forgetting about precision attack. I have to do that before effects are. I guess I'm done.
You could also
need-
distracting strike it again if you wanted to.
I could. Who's next? Dent?
Dent is.
Okay.
Dentist. So roll a d8. Get that in extra damage. Dent will. Nice. Looking very, very hurt. Dent.
Dent had to witness Nero, like, after gracefully, finishing off someone, falling right down the stairs, or into the staircase. I don't really know.
It's onto the side of the staircase. It's a staircase going up.
Okay. Okay, well, that could have been worse, I guess. He's gonna come around, and do I have what is the specific language here of what I get advantage on with distracting strike?
Attack rolls.
Okay, well, that's not gonna apply to what I'm about to try. Dent is gonna try to charm person, which is at disadvantage because we're attacking him.
Okay.
Can you charm them if they're not a person?
A humanoid. This, I would assume, would be a humanoid because it has a.
Most shape changers do count as humanoids.
Okay.
So they make a wisdom saving throw?
Yeah, a wisdom saving throw. And it does so with advantage if we are fighting it.
16.
Okay. Well, my spell save DC is 13, so womp womp, it didn't work. And because I didn't attack, I don't get to do extra attack. Womp womp.
On the other hand, it is finally all coming up Minnow. Probably. Assuming that this doesn't go horribly.
This thing hasn't died yet. We haven't managed to kill it.
I specifically tried to not kill it.
Nice.
This one is going to attack. It's going to bite at you, Ressa. 25 hits him.
Oh, yeah.
Piercing.
We had it cornered. I figured there was a chance.
And then it's going to claw at you, Ken. Do 18 and 17 hit you? I can tell that. 13 slashing total. But that was its turn. It's sort of pressed against the door, snarling at you all. Minnow, from where you were sort of like crouched over on the floor, you're like, eh. You still hear,
Okay.
Blah, 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 blah.
I use half my movement to stand up.
I think I do have that firm set at its 15 feet to not penalize the.
Doing that.
Why are you slowly backing away?
I don't know. I tried to drag my token forward and like it moved the map for me instead of my token. I don't understand what happened.
I'd like you to
check
sort of like
on top of
back
Dylan.
to Dylan.
Yeah.
Hey buddy, why don't you go you go take care of that.
Okay, and I'm going to pull out what do I have? I have a short bow.
You have advantage on this attack.
Great. I'm going to roll 2 of my physical fucking dice because roll 20 has okay, this is a 16 plus what's my modifier? It doesn't matter. I know I hit 11. It. Plus 7, so 23, I guess.
And it also sneak attack because people are within 5
Okay,
feet.
let me go ahead and get my 3d6 for my sneak attack, and then I get a 1d6 for.
Do we really know if we can trust Elise? I mean, she's known to be shady.
Legitimately, I'm pretty sure if she'd like fucking double fumbled or something, we would have known
seen it on my face.
The tray would have just like rocketed across the goddamn room. Her camera would have turned off.
Okay, so I'm rolling my 4d6 plus 4 for this. Okay, rolled 2 ones. So as you can see, in-person rolling is going really well. And then 2 3s. So that's 6, 7, 8 plus 4 is 12 damage. Please tell me that kills it. Galway, if it has 1 HP, I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind.
Make me a word picture of how Minnow manages to recover from all of this.
It's not
Oh,
pretty.
man, we're all gonna get blood splatter on us.
She stands
I'm
up
fine.
and she's still crying a little bit, and she staggers forward 10 feet because that's what she can manage. And she picks up her bow and she goes, "Catch duck," and then just shoots straight into this thing's face, and then catches sight of the one that's a dwarf and is just like, no, and sits back down.
Oh, so you're gonna see it like slump back against the door, and the flaps of the mandibles will come down, forming a human man with an arrow directly through his forehead.
Nero
slumped
looks
against
away.
the door. And as you hear like boom, Nero's just like no, decline. But as that happens, you hear silence sort of descends, calm, and the door will swing open, flopping the body back into the room behind, and you see an older human man with sort of a close cropped gray beard. Like, who are you people?
We brought your medicine.
Question is, how'd they get through the cabbage patch?
And let's wrap up there for tonight.
Catch us asking the hard questions.
Mm-mm.
I don't know.
Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Thank you so much to the players for playing. Hope you had a good time tonight. I know Minnow didn't, but hopefully Elise did.
You're traumatizing the players. Not this player. I got to play nice with a cabbage.
You managed to fucking tightrope through a series of challenges where I'm like, okay, this is hard, but okay. It's basically a bunch of things broke exactly the way you needed them to. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Coming up next week, we should have on Wednesday the Goats of Saltmarsh, as the menagerie finally goes to a boat, unless some other real world occurrence helps save Virgil for another week.
Let's hope that nothing else happens.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
on that
except
day.
honestly, I'm just like, no, Virgil, man, you gotta suck it up. Get on a boat. It's for the good of the world.
America needs it.
My emotional state needs it. Thursday, we should have more Spire. And then on Friday, we shall have The Fates of Rin, which will feature Rachel guest playing as Clem, with some incredible art and a real good time. And what was... Oh, right. Charity was conducting a survey of how would you best attack your town for the village while everybody else was actually trying to problem solve. He was just like, nah, fuck it. Fire. All fire. If you've enjoyed this, like I said, you can use !Discord, join our community Discord. We had a gift exchange for the holidays this year. We do lots of internal streams, lots of board gaming and stuff. It's a really good time. As I've said, like I said, being able to put this in the past tense is real nice. It's what got me through 2020. You can also, like I said, follow us here on Twitch. Follow us on Twitter at HelpfulGoat. For everyone here at Helpful Goat, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful evening and a great night. Be kind to yourself and others. Love y'all.
Good
Bye.
night.